56 and 98.5 FM. The first hour of Sportstime is brought to you by Lexus of Memphis. Here are your hosts, former Memphis Tiger Gabe Kuhn and Brett Stats Norsworthy.
Beautiful morning, yeah, the sun on my morning bed.
It's a hump day. Sportstime on Sports 56 with you, with Gabe and Stats on a June 22nd, 2022. We're always live from Family Studios in Memphis, Tennessee, where family and fun come together. I am former Memphis Tiger Gabe Kuhn on Twitter at G_Kuhn71. Producing the program on the ones and twos is Bryant Dacus, fresh off the Elvis movie, and you can find him on Twitter at Bryant_Dacus. How was it?
It was really good. There were some things, obviously it's a biopic movie, so there were some things that were a little off, but overall it was a really good movie. I'll have to go see it a couple more times.
Okay. But you suggested to
I
us
suggested. I mean,
and the listeners.
After you get over the fact that Austin Butler doesn't look like Elvis, he plays a pretty good Elvis.
He kind of looks like him. It's not that bad.
Well, I view and observe Elvis things a lot more than you, so it's hard to look at something that isn't Elvis and be like, that's Elvis.
You are an aficionado.
Yeah, you are the music historian. You are the Elvis historian.
Was the music good?
The music was all right. So in the they said the 50s of records of his were not good enough to put in a movie, so all 50s and early 60s was Austin Butler singing Elvis if it was an Elvis song, and then late 60s and 70s were Elvis. So it was pretty
Kentucky
good.
Rain was Elvis.
Yeah. So it was pretty good though. I teared up during it. So
it must be
it was a pretty good movie.
Solid if the emotions are coming out.
Well, it was my favorite song, and the way they did it was really good.
Bad
so,
grammar here to be demonstrative.
Yeah.
He can sing.
He can sing, man.
Yep. And you hear Brett already. Pre and post for the Ole Miss Football Radio Network on Twitter at Brett Norsworthy. Brett, what's happening? You doing well?
Second day of summer, it means it gets hot, doesn't it?
Yeah. I was out today. I was out and about early this morning, and I was.
It's a steamer out there.
I had to introduce my dog to another dog because we're getting another dog this weekend.
Oh,
on Saturday. Great Pyrenees.
How was the meeting? Was it the Soyuz and the Apollo linking up?
It was just about perfect. They always say no males and males together, no females and females together. So it's my dog right now is a female. The one we're going to go adopt is a male. So it was all fair, all well and good. They were sniffing each other.
They put a paw out to each other?
I don't know if they did all that.
Shake paws.
Yeah. We put them in a yard. They were going to the bathroom together.
What are the names of the two canines?
Nola is my dog now. The other one's Motley.
Nola?
Like the Crew.
Yeah, like Motley Crue. Yes,
Motley,
there you go.
Nola.
Yeah, there you go. I'm gonna have about 190 pounds worth of dog in my house though. So that's I don't like little yappy dogs. I'm gonna be honest with you.
Tell you what else it is. A lot of cleanup.
Yeah, Roomba. By the way, is all it's being delivered right now. Yeah. My Roomba, with the extra dog hair help. But yeah, I don't like those little yappy dogs. I like big dogs.
I like little dogs.
Really?
Little lap dogs, inside dogs.
You don't have any pets, do you?
No.
Yeah.
Because I'm never home.
Yeah.
It'd be very unfair to the dog, especially the way I would do it with the inside dog.
Well, yeah.
I'd be gone all the time.
Well, I mean, Taylor and I are gone a fair amount of it. But when I first got Nola, I trained her and I was playing football, so I was home a lot more then. So that was easier. But no, I hear you. That makes a lot of sense.
When I retire, I want the female runt of the litter, the Cocker Spaniel Poodle mix.
What do they call that?
Be careful.
What do they call that?
Be careful.
What's the Cocker Spaniel Poodle mix? Can we look that up?
Be careful is all I can tell you.
The cockadoodle?
And the key word there isn't poodle.
I hear you. So Cocker Spaniel, that's very specific, I got to be honest with you.
Yeah.
Not a poodle or a Cocker Spaniel. No, you need the mix.
I want the mix.
That's specific.
Lap dog.
Are you going to be able to find that?
I bet so.
Or somewhere. So, Craigslist, they don't do Craigslist dogs anymore. That was probably unsafe.
Can I go to Tinder and find it?
I would stay away from Tinder for your dog choice.
Boy, the names of the mix that are rolling in now to my text line are great.
I already said cockadoodle.
Yeah.
That's a good one. That makes a lot of sense. All right, let's move off of that. First half of our show brought to you by Lexus of Memphis.
That's not how we scripted it in rehearsal, was it?
No, it isn't. It isn't.
We don't have a rehearsal, people.
Lexus of Memphis is the one and only Lexus dealership in Memphis. A lot to get to today. Bunch of NBA draft week rumors, and I love every single second of it. Draft coming up tomorrow. Plenty involved the Grizzlies in a potential trade-up. We'll discuss that in just a moment. And at 5 o'clock, we bring on Derek Murray from Basketball News, who will actually be at the NBA draft tomorrow night in Brooklyn. Also, speaking of Brooklyn, KD and Kyrie, the nastiness is upon us. Woj reports that Kyrie Irving's leverage that he's using in negotiations with the Nets is that Kevin Durant will want to trade if Kyrie leaves.
That's a lot of leverage.
That's a lot of leverage. Not an optimal situation for a franchise to be in. Got to be honest with you. Certainly suboptimal. Also, College World Series to discuss. Ole Miss and Arkansas play today. Ole Miss has a shot to put themselves in the College World Series final with a win.
Round 2.
Tonight, while Arkansas needs 2 wins in a row to get there.
I said to someone earlier today, round 2 tonight, and then I revised it. In my lifetime, this is round 902 in something.
Okay, in your lifetime between Arkansas and Ole Miss in a baseball game, this is probably
this is as big as it gets.
Yeah, this is as big as it's been.
I don't, and I explained. I don't remember a really, honestly, a basketball game that Arkansas ever viewed equally as big with Ole Miss, because it's been such a historical program disparity.
Right.
Now, there have been Ole Miss wins. There have been Ole Miss wins at Bud Walton, but I don't ever remember meeting even in an SEC tournament, and I never remember a game where they both viewed it as tonight's big.
Yeah.
And it's got to both be viewed like that for it to be really big.
Yeah, for Arkansas.
Tonight is viewed like that.
Well, the next 2 games are massive for Arkansas.
Football has been viewed like this. I say football this year on November 19th is going to be really big for both.
It should. It should be. Last year was unreal, by the way.
Last year was great.
That was great.
Last year was great because I got the result I wanted. 53-52 in overtime in 2015 was not great for me, but it was a great game. Yeah. It was a great game.
Last year, 52-51, right?
52-51. If Arkansas had made the conversion, I would have lost 53-52
2 times.
2 times in 7 years.
That's rough. That would have been rough. But on that game, Arkansas Ole Miss.
I hid my eyes for the 2-point play. I just let the crowd tell me.
We are going to go live to Omaha with Jake Thompson at 4:30. Jake is from On3 Sports, covers Ole Miss. And for us, we're going to have to be out at 5:30 for pregame for that game. And then the first pitch will be at 6 o'clock on these airwaves, Sports 56 and 98.5 FM. Also, we have Live Golf versus PGA Tour discussion. We're going to have to continue that. Brooks Koepka leaves yesterday, and the PGA Tour has responded. Jay Monahan actually spoke today as well. John Goen will join us at 4 o'clock. We'll also make our picks for the Travelers. Then also, at the bottom of this hour, bring on Alex Kuhn from KGYM Radio in Cedar Rapids. Gabe Kuhn, Alex Kuhn, yes, we're related. I think y'all know that at this point. We'll talk everything under the sun, but I really have to talk to him about the Field of Dreams game in the state of Iowa and what it means to all the people in the state of Iowa and what they're charging to get into the game. I think is very interesting. It'll be between the Cubs and the Reds on August 11th, and I know Alex has a lot of thoughts. Yeah. To say the least, about how the MLB is handling the situation in Iowa.
Here in Memphis, we had the National Civil Rights game. Dave Chase's baby. He was the idea guy behind it. He got it rolling, and it never rose to the regular season prominence that he wanted it to be. And I think Major League Baseball missed a big opportunity to be in this market and to celebrate that.
Right.
To highlight that cause, that mission, that great piece of history for Memphis, for the world, with the National Civil Rights Museum 3 blocks from the ballpark,
right there.
And Major League Baseball just really jilted us horribly.
And that's how we're feeling about Iowa. In the state of Iowa, the MLB has done a lot of bad.
Well, baseball's very transactional.
And they've done a lot of things to the state of Iowa in the past decade as far as the MLB coverage is concerned that have been less than stellar. And I think this is another example of it.
The leadership of baseball is, and I guess since I've already violated, I won't complain. Since I violated,
you already violated. Too late. Too late.
It's horrible. It's always very hand-to-mouth, very transactional, very year-to-year, relationship to relationship, kind of bumblebee from flower to flower, and they forget who was good to them in the past quite quickly.
Yep, they sure do. AutoZone listener line 901-360-8255. Get in the zone, AutoZone. You can also watch us live and message us on our socials, Sports56 WHBQ, Twitter, YouTube, Facebook, and Twitch, and go to our website, sports56WHBQ.com. Now, Grizzlies and all of these NBA trade rumors, draft week rumors, they're fantastic. But Zach Lowe of ESPN yesterday puts out, Grizzlies are calling around in every direction trying to move up into the lottery. And the two places they've been connected to the most, we talked about the Kings at number 4. That's an interesting one. Trade up Jaden Ivey, Keegan Murray, probably in that range. I think that's a little less likely. The one they've been connected to a lot, though, the Cavs at number 14. And when you look at trade-up targets in that range, A.J. Griffin, Jalen Duren, Mark Williams, those are the guys that could potentially be around that. I think Jalen Duren a little less likely there. But it's looking more and more as we get into this week, as we get closer to tomorrow night, that the Grizzlies are not going to make 3 draft picks.
Rob Fisher was great on that subject and the reasoning behind it yesterday with us. And I don't know that I had thought it out as clearly and as cogently as he did, and then explain to us and to our audience. Makes a lot of sense. Which one do you want to throw deep and get up to 4, or do you just want the throw the tight end over the middle and get to 14?
I love 14, or even when you look at the Charlotte
Gotta
picks.
give to get.
13 and 15. I think that makes sense because I trading up to 4, you're having to give away a piece of the puzzle to last year's team. And I think a lot of people want to go and run it back to a certain extent, keep DeAnthony Melton on
Team
that
sit
bench.
still.
Keep Dylan Brooks right there. So I think you don't have to do all that much to move up to, say, 14. Give up 22, 29, maybe your second-round pick and make that pick there. I think there's some better options only moving up to 14 or so.
None of the 3 likely suspects in there. No Kyle Anderson, no DeAnthony Melton, no Dylan Brooks.
They might ask for that. There's a potential for that. But I think you give up substantially less moving up to 14 than you do moving up to 4 where the Kings are slotted right now. That's the point I'm making.
I just did it between now and end of the draft tomorrow night. The drinking game, the over and under on this. Got to give to get.
Yeah, and know what I was thinking
it
though.
Gets old here, doesn't it?
What I was thinking about people, pieces that are movable, that have value, that I think other teams would want, like DeAnthony Melton. How sick would you be if he was part of a package, if he was moved?
I wouldn't be.
Not unbelievably sick, and I think he makes the most sense to move.
And I don't know that I would be ecstatic that he stayed, but I would be pleased that he stayed.
But true. But the value he has at 24 years old.
I don't know that I created DeAnthony Melton stan.
Right. Well, I think there are some people like that. But 24 years old, if you package him with picks, you'd seemingly get where you'd want to go, is my thought. And like, you talk about like players in this league that have value. Backcourt playmakers are always and will always be in the plans and easily accepted in trade packages these days. And especially DeAnthony Melton, a guy who provides a lot on the defensive end. So I think the Grizzlies have enough to work with as far as assets are concerned to move up to where they want to move. But I just wonder what assets they're actually going to use to make that move.
And same for Dylan Brooks and Kyle Anderson. I'm team sit still. But if they're moved, I'm not crushed over the exit of any of them.
And also there was a thought from Brian Windhorst, and he was sort of reporting it, but he said the Hornets, I believe they hold 13 and 15 in the draft this year. They're looking to trade one of their 2 first-round picks, 13 or 15, alongside Gordon Hayward to clear up cap space to retain Miles Bridges. And by the way, they could retain Miles Bridges even if they kept Gordon Hayward on contract. That wouldn't be an issue. Hornets can afford that without clearing cap space. Maybe they're looking through Miles and looking to LaMelo and then what they're going to have to do to keep him around. But regardless of that, would that be something that the Grizzlies could possibly get involved with? Obviously, you'd have to take on a massive, ugly $30 million per year contract from Gordon Hayward, which would free up in 2 years, but you get up to 13 or 15 if you so choose.
Regardless of what happens and who's moved, and maybe if it's team sit still, I like the parlor games. I like the intrigue around it.
Yeah, there's no question.
And not just for our content. I like any of this for any run up to anything, whether it's run up to draft or drafts of other leagues, most prominently the NFL. I don't know that we've ever mentioned the NHL draft, and rarely mentioned the MLB draft.
Well, NHL, MLB, we don't even know the guys really. Brian does. I'm sure Brian does. Brian, let me ask you this, man, because I know you follow the NBA draft, and you've followed these guys very closely, whether it was through following them with 247 Sports. I know you have your own stuff that you do that I see you always logging in your computer. Who are your guys for the Grizzlies? Who do you think fits the bill for what they want to do in this draft cycle?
At 22 and 29, like
22,
no
29.
moves? Well, I mean, I think guys we've talked about. I really like Jaden Hardy and Marjon Beauchamp. I think both of those would be pretty good options. Guys that have been developed under NBA coaches and stuff in the G League. I think they'd be really good. I'm not I don't as much as other people like this Nikola Jovic guy.
Yeah,
I think he's decent.
Well, that's a tough name. By the way,
it's a tough name.
I heard Anthony and Peter talking about that one day. That's a tough name to come into the league with.
That's a tough name.
Nikola Jovic.
Yeah.
That's tough. Okay, so if they move up,
Sounds
though,
a lot like a guy that I bet you're not going to be a lot like.
Yeah, no.
now, if they move up, though, and the names I brought up, A.J. Griffin, Mark Williams, and Jalen Duren, obviously that's tough because, I mean, he could possibly be a top 10 guy.
Yeah, I've seen a lot of people say he's going to that the San Antonio likes him at 9.
Yeah, and if he sneaks out of the top 10, it won't be far. So that's more unlikely. But A.J. Griffin, Mark Williams is a trade-up target at 13, 14, 15, somewhere in there.
Yeah, I like both those guys. I've been talking about him all year. I love Mark Williams. Mark Williams, a big guy, a center that can run with a lot of these guards, and you can put him there with Jaren, put Jaren at the 4, put Mark at the 5, and, I mean, you got two guys that could probably lead the league in blocks.
But the reasonable targets at 22 that I have sort of put together, you look at Tari Eason, Dalen Terry. I like Dalen Terry a lot.
I like Dalen Terry a lot. I think he's a guy. Tari Eason might not be there at 22. I think Dalen Terry
kind of has that Kyle Anderson to him to a certain extent. A lot on defense, can move the ball. He's more athletic though. He's not that slow. Jaden Hardy, I think, would be interesting. You brought up Marjon Beauchamp. Wendell Moore Jr. is an interesting one. Kennedy Chandler's been mocked in a lot of these. The wild card, though, if you want to take a shot, would be Patrick Baldwin Jr., but I think that's a little wild in the current situation.
No shot there. This hour of our show, every day, brought to you by Lexus of Memphis at 2600 Ridgeway and online at lexusofmemphis.com. The one and only Lexus dealership in town. Give them a call at 901-334-9673. Great offers on all 2022 models and always special leasing options. Stop by today at Lexus of Memphis at 2600 Ridgeway and put yourself in the driver's seat of the all-new 2022 flagship LS500, and you'll be looking and driving in style. When you purchase a Lexus, you get top-of-the-line engineering and design that makes for the luxury driving experience. Online at lexusofmemphis.com. Experience amazing at Lexus of Memphis.
Top story of the day.
Top story of the day for me, and it's kind of funny. It could also be my not top story of the day, but the Commanders in this House Oversight Committee hearing, and you know, we're going to have a shortened show, so we're going to get to a lot of it tomorrow. But hilarious from start to finish, I can't lie to you. Roger Goodell had to show his face. He wore a tie. He meant business, and I thought he did okay with the line of questioning that was presented to him. And he's really, the fact that he has to have Dan Snyder's back on this and has to sort of protect Dan Snyder through this process has got to be. That's why you make a lot of money if you're Roger Goodell.
Goodell's part of the club in D.C. though.
You know, I get you.
His dad was United States
I understand.
Senator. I mean, they're not going to rough him up too bad.
But it started with Carolyn Maloney, who led the whole thing. She grilled Daniel Snyder on not being there and being in France and parking his luxury yacht near a resort while this thing was going on. So that was hilarious. There were some, and then immediately following that, there were some members of the committee that were mad that this was a topic of discussion, and they couldn't get them to be quiet. So it was a disaster to start. But Roger Goodell was pummeled with questions. Again, I thought he did a great job. Besides Dave Portnoy question, did you see that? The Dave Portnoy question. He asked about, well, you believe in freedom of speech. Why'd you kick Dave Portnoy out of the Super Bowl and all these different events? Roger Goodell said, I don't know about that situation. I'm not familiar with it. Roger, yes, you're familiar with it. You understand what happened. So that was another part of it that was bizarre. Yeah, I know. That in itself is weird, but also Roger blatantly lying to them and saying he has no idea about it. I thought that was interesting too.
Yeah, but I bet he doesn't have the whole credential list in front of him.
Yes. Also, the big thing that came out of this, Carolyn Maloney mentioned it. They're going to issue a subpoena for Dan Snyder for a deposition next week. I
better comply.
Yes, he better comply.
End up like Peter Navarro.
I just got to say, like, the fact that this has gotten to the point with the NFL where they have to put it on the house to actually investigate and not do this shadow investigation, this fake investigation, it's sad. And I don't trust the house to get to the bottom of everything either. That's what I'll say about it. So
sure
we're going to have continued stories and continued headlines about this, but I am not very hopeful that the truth actually comes out.
My top story, Ole Miss and Arkansas, round 2 tonight in Omaha. If Ole Miss takes it, there will be no round 3. If Arkansas wins, round 3 tomorrow night. And then all the pressure will swing to Ole Miss. Ole Miss has played downhill this entire NCAA tournament run. It will be fascinating to see. I don't know how they will respond, but it will be fascinating to see because at some point, it's not going to stay this easy. At some point, they're going to get their nose bloodied, metaphorically, and you got to see how they respond with that. Will they, when they taste their own blood, do they respond and come right back? But if Arkansas put up a 4 or 7 or 6 spot early and that Ole Miss playing downhill ends, how will they respond? Be good stuff tonight. Looks like it's going to be the winner of, if Ole Miss wins tonight, it'll be Ole Miss and Oklahoma in game 1 Saturday. Oklahoma ahead of A&M right now. If Arkansas wins tonight, Arkansas and Ole Miss again tomorrow night.
Not top story of the day.
A lot of death right now, and sort of coming out of the Ravens organization. We find out this morning, Ravens linebacker Jalen Ferguson, 26. Out of Louisiana Tech, known as the Sack Man when he was at Louisiana Tech, dies at 26 years old. And just so bizarre, too. No foul play suspected. They found him in his home, unresponsive, could not resuscitate him. Just overwhelmingly sad. And then just in the last hour, we learned that Tony Saragusa, Goose, has passed away at the age of 55. Again, right now, no foul play suspected, so we'll see what happens. But just overwhelmingly sad day, when we're talking about the Ravens organization and guys that have been involved.
Can't imagine the devastation of a family of a 26-year-old just seemingly fine yesterday. My not top story, night before the draft, and all is calm for now. Deals expecting to be made near and far. Grizzlies right out there in a lot of the conversation. The parting of some popular player will probably happen. At least one of these 3 will probably be in some deal. Kyle Anderson, DeAnthony Melton, or Dylan Brooks. All 3 could happen. And if they do, that's part of it. No need to have a candlelight vigil for any of the 3. If they go, they had good Grizzlies years. They had a lot of fans. They'll be missed. And I trust this front office and their building to get better every year.
Yep, there's no question about it. And everyone's discussed it. When you hold 22, 29, and 47 and you're on that win-now trajectory, it just seems hard. It seems very unlikely that you don't part with one of those guys, and it seems very unlikely that you draft 3 guys tomorrow. It just doesn't seem like it's in the books for the Grizzlies. But that'll do it for top and not top story of the day.
Brett Northworthy here for FanDuel, and this baseball season turned K's into cash and big hits into bigger wins with FanDuel Sportsbook. Right now, new customers can step up to the plate with a no-sweat first bet up to $1,000. Sign up with promo code CASH, place that first bet, and FanDuel will give you $1,000 back in free bets if you don't win. Safe and secure app, great promotions every day, and you get paid fast. If you kind of want a 3-teamer tonight, here's mine. Just any hit. Tommy Edman in Milwaukee. Home run, I'll stay with Nolan Arenado. And for the K's, go over the amount for Adam Wainwright tonight. No better place to bet America's pastime than on America's #1 sportsbook. Download the FanDuel Sportsbook app and sign up with promo code CASH to get started with your no-sweat first bet up to $1,000. Must be 21 or older and present in Tennessee. First online real money wager only. Refund issued as non-withdrawable site credit that expires in 14 days. Restrictions apply. See terms at sportsbook.fanduel.com. Gambling problem? Call the Tennessee Red Line at 1-800-889-9789.
Let's grab our first break of the day. When we come back, bring on Alex Kuhn from KGYM Radio in Cedar Rapids. We're going to talk everything under the sun, but I really have to discuss this Field of Dreams game. Obviously, the Reds versus the Cubs on August 11th. The people of Iowa and their MLB fandom, it's sort of come under attack in recent years by the MLB, and we'll discuss that with Alex next.
We are real sports talk. Sports 56, WHBQ. Available on your radio dial at 560 AM, 98.5 FM, and 96.1 FM, as well as online around the world at sports56whbq.com. Take us with you everywhere by downloading the Sports 56 app. And at home, just say, Alexa, play Sports 56. Wherever you are, stay tuned in to Real Sports Talk. Sports 56 and 98.5 FM.
It's time for another season of golf at Miramichi. You know the spot, 15 minutes north of downtown in Woodstock. I call it heaven. It's 330 acres of natural beauty, 7,400 yards of championship-level golf, but there are several different tee boxes which make it fun or competitive for every level of golf. And the practice facilities are as good as any country club, and every round of golf comes with a cart and complimentary range balls. You can really improve your game, and you'll love the prices too. Seniors can play Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday for as low as $33. Again, the golf cart and the range balls are thrown in. The standard weekday rates are as low as $44. Friday, it's $50, and on Sunday, it's $55. You'll love the view from the terrace. You look out and see the best view in all of Shelby County. The whole experience, it's just fantastic. Go check it out yourself at Miramichi.
Brian Elder's Roofing Solutions.
If you have damage to your home and have your insurance carrier involved, you need a great contractor. You also need a team that has seen claims of all shapes and sizes, residential or commercial. After our inspection, we'll share our findings and give you our professional opinion. Some people say you get what you pay for. However, our opinion is free. Trust the name you can depend on, like the tens of thousands of families Brian and I have served over the past 20 years here in the Mid-South. Brian Elder Roofing. We'll measure your roof from outer space and share our team's experience for your property and claim. Repaired roofs, replacement roofs, big roofs, tiny roofs, insurance roofs, flat roofs, TPO roofs, asphalt roofs, tile roofs, slate roofs, metal roofs. If your roof needs some love, call me. 901-867-0303 for Brian Elder Roofing and Contracting.
Call 867-0303. Brian Elder's Roofing Solutions.
Looking for a high-efficiency planting solution? The Case IH 2150 Early Riser Planter combines the industry's most accurate planter technologies with a rugged row unit for fast and uniform emergence. The Case IH 2150 Early Riser operates at your speed and adapts to unique field conditions so that you can maximize your yield potential. Stop in or call Mid-South Ag Equipment at 662-890-3141 to learn more. That's Mid-South Ag, your Case IH Equipment headquarters.
Hey, Jeff Allen, I'm ready to get my Kia on. What's happening over on Mount Moriah and Gossett Kia South?
Hey, I know the car business is crazy right now, but we got them on the lot ready to ride. I've got a 2022 Kia Forte LXS 210 a month, 2022 Kia Soul LX 223 a month, both 36-month lease and $27.99 due at signing. Plus 2022 Kia Sorento LX 315, 36-month lease and $34.99 due at signing.
And Jeff, your Kias are always equipped with a 10-year, 100,000-mile powertrain limited warranty.
So whether you live in Horn Lake, South Haven, Olive Branch, or Memphis, you'll be happy at Gossett Kia, Mount Moriah.
2680 Mount Moriah or KiaMountMoriah.com. All 36-month leases, 650 acquisition fee, 30,000 per year, 20 cents excess mileage, 0 security deposit. Forte, 8989 848, MSRP 20,770, sold in 78 68 67, MSRP 20,880. Sorrento, NG 128 223, MSRP 31,980. Must finance through Kia plus tax Highland license with approved credit. See dealer for complete details. Offer valid through 7/5/22. Dealer stock only. Warranty is a limited powertrain warranty. See Kia.com or retailer for details.
Visit Frontier Western Store today for new shirts and boots. Frontier is your top Carhartt store in the Mid-South. There's thousands of in-stock shirts and jeans. They have the classic K87 pocket tee in every color they make, including new ones just released. Available small to 4X. Want new jeans? Frontier has you covered with super tough work denim by Carhartt. And you've got to check out their selection of Ariat jeans for men, women, and children. You'll love how easy it is to find the size and style you need. Have you seen Frontier's remodeled world-famous boot showroom? It continues to expand. New styles by Ariat just arrived, plus plenty of in-stock proven classics too. Whether you need work or dress boots, trust that Frontier's the place to come. See thousands of pairs of Ariat boots and thousands more by Dan Post, Corral, Durango, Rocky, Twisted X, and others. And Frontier's pricing is lower than online and chain stores, so you know just the local shop to visit. Frontier Western Store, 5880 Goodman Road in Olive Branch, and on the web at frontierwesternstore.com. Locally owned and operated since 1967.
Swerving, speeding, and reckless driving can leave you in your own dust. Drag racing has its consequences. You can lose your driving privileges, your vehicle, face jail time, or even lose or take a life. So slow down, Memphis. The life you save may be your own. Brought to you by the Memphis Police Department, Traffic Operations.
Now, back to Sports Time on Sports 56 and 98.5 FM. This hour is brought to you by Lexus of Memphis.
Let me tell you what Melvin Toast is packing right here, all right?
Here once again are Gabe Kuhn and Brett Norsworthy.
Get it? Text a message, I don't know the number. Flexing on the
Back in. Sports Time on Sports 56. Gabe and Stats with you. I'm Gabe, he's Stats. And joining us via the AutoZone listener line is Alex Kuhn at AlexKuhn523 on Twitter from KGYM Radio in Cedar Rapids. Alex, what's happening?
Not a whole lot, guys. It's a weird time of year.
Yeah,
we're getting into like this month before football training camps get underway, and we still have a little bit of hockey left. An interesting Stanley Cup final series, but we're
got some College World Series rolling.
I feel like the next domino is going to be conference media days, and that's when we're going to get busy again.
Yeah, it's a lot of vacations taken between now and July 10th.
Yep. You're not lying.
When's Big Ten Media Days? And are you going? Are you going to be in
the
person?
26th to 27th, we will not be there this year. It's in Indianapolis again, which is a much more difficult trip for us to make happen logistically. So we will be there. Chicago is so easy for us. It's a day trip. Sure. It's 3 hours away. Indianapolis, six and a half. So makes it a little bit more difficult, but that's the 26th, 20th, and 27th. We're going to have our countdown to Media Day where we preview all our 13 and 14 Big Ten teams starting on July 7th, and we're going to start rolling towards the end of the summer and into football season.
Yes, sir. Same for us. We are going to Atlanta. Hoover's so much easier. The SEC is going to go to Nashville sooner than later. I expect even next year. In one of these years, and it will be a challenge for me, for us here. One of these years, they're going to try the Jerry's World thing. They're going to do Dallas, and that's a long way removed from the real heart and soul and the traditional footprint of the SEC. But you can't turn down that exposure.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I remember. Was it in Hoover for? Is that like the main spot?
Yeah,
mostly. That it has been?
Mostly. It has been in Hoover.
They've sort of skipped around lately, though, Atlanta and
Or
Hoover.
in Birmingham was in Atlanta in 2018, back to Hoover in 19. COVID got us in 20, and then back to Hoover last year. But I'm afraid it's going to be a while before it's at Hoover again, and especially at that facility, because it's just not big enough, if nothing else, for the SEC network to set up their stage.
That's the most important thing, as it is in either Chicago or in Indianapolis with Jerry DiNardo and Dave Revson and Howard Griffith and all the
Dave
the
Revson's so
BTN
good.
Crew. He is.
Isn't he great?
He really is.
It's always tripped me out, though, when I was living in Chicago for about a 6-month period. The Big Ten offices are in the weirdest spot. It's in like a retail spot right across from a mall. I'm not sure.
Right by the airport.
It feels like they basically share a parking garage with the mall. It's a weird spot to have the offices of a major athletic
Wouldn't it be
conference.
something if Nashville stole the Big Ten headquarters?
That area is right by. If you've ever flown into O'Hare, you know that everything's built up in Rosemont, right around the airport, and the Big Ten offices are right there. It's right next to a Brazilian steakhouse too. So If you want to get uncomfortably full and then go demonstrate outside of Kevin Warren's office, you can do that.
Yeah, it's a good mall to go get some sneakers in. Used to buy my sneakers from there. Now, I have to bring this up because you pointed my attention to this. And when you look at the Field of Dreams game in Iowa in your listening area, you have a lot of MLB fans, and their allegiances are everywhere. But Cubs and Reds on August 11th. And you pointed to my attention, like you have a lot of working class people in the state of Iowa, and the tickets to the Field of Dreams game start at just about, what was it, $700. And if you go to secondary, probably around $500. But the prices that the MLB is charging and what they've done to that area of the country in regards to its MLB fandom, it's pretty unforgivable in the grand scheme.
Yeah, a couple of years ago, the Major League Baseball wanted to cut back on minor league teams. So in two communities in the state of Iowa, and in Burlington and Clinton, permanently had professional baseball, or at least as of now, had professional baseball taken away. And it's when you talk about baseball, and that's the heart and soul of the history of your game.
Yep.
Having minor league baseball in all these little towns, and just the thought. And I know in our market, Cedar Rapids, the fact that Mike Trout became a number one prospect one summer in Cedar Rapids, Iowa, and Byron Buxton did the same thing. And there's been all-star after all-star after all-star.
Got to see Royce Lewis when I was down there.
Yep.
Yeah,
you did get to see. You got to see Royce Lewis and Alex Kirilloff and some of the Twins prospects when you were up here. So that kind of started the wheels in motion. And it was straw that broke the camel's back, because in the state of Iowa, there are 6 Major League Baseball teams that are subject to local blackouts. So you are, unless you have a certain cable package, you can't watch national television broadcasts of the Cardinals, the Cubs, the White Sox, the Twins, the Royals, and the Brewers. And that's the entire state of Iowa. Yep. It doesn't matter if you're all the way on the western side of the state or on the eastern side of the state. It's all the same. And so I think that feeling the heat of that was Rob Manfred. So he decided last year, we're going to have a Field of Dreams game. We're going to, in his eyes, try to make things right for Iowa. And last year was a resounding success. The White Sox and the Yankees, they'll never be able to top what last year brought. This year, you get the Cubs and the Reds. And you would think, wow, well, I wonder what tickets are going to be going for. Well, Iowans could get into a lottery to at least get the right to buy these tickets at face value at $350. But right now in the secondary market, that's lowballing it, Gabe. $750 is the absolute,
right,
and that's without fees or anything, is the absolute lowest amount you're going to be able to pay to go see two of the worst teams in Major League Baseball playing in the middle of a cornfield. Worse off, they're having a minor league game a few days before, I believe, the Cedar Rapids Colonels are involved, and I believe it's the Quad Cities River Bandits, the Class A, the two Class A teams. The cheapest you're going to pay to get in there is $65 or $70. So it's really an interesting situation where I don't know how. The original Field of Dreams game last year is definitely going to be the highlight, and I wonder how much longer this thing is going to have after this year, because there aren't going to be a whole lot of state of Iowa, just regular folks like you and me paying $800, $900 to go watch a game between the two worst teams in the league in the middle of a cornfield.
Alex, I told Gabe during the break, and it is still my favorite sport, Major League Baseball, all that, but they have made it. It's very difficult to defend it. It's very difficult to watch how it's being, the administration of it. And Rob Manfred is just the classic Band-Aid type person. Just get me to next week, whether I got to expand playoffs or I got to play in Iowa. They did the very same thing to us here over a preseason exhibition game with the National Civil Rights game, with the promise of it future being incorporated into a regular season. Never did it, and their contempt, Major League Baseball's contempt for the minor leagues it's really sad.
It is, and it's been tough to see what's happened to Burlington and Clinton, where, as I said, prior to those two teams losing their professional baseball, you saw Angels top prospects, Mariners top prospects. I can't remember who exactly the affiliates were at the end of the time because it's switched over the years. But just like that, professional baseball, the thought of young stars coming through your town and how big that was for the local economy is completely ripped away. Just now it's Summer Collegiate Baseball League and the Prospect League, and they do a good job with it, but it's not professional baseball.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that this is a theme that I think you're alluding to, and I hear a lot of people talk about this, and it's the fact that Major League Baseball over the years, like many things, many entities in our country have phased out the working class family.
Smallville.
You used to be able to afford to go to baseball games and park, and the food may have cost you a little bit, but it's not going to cost you your entire paycheck. Those days are gone, and it's tough because you're not seeing any new fans really being attracted to the game, and you're phasing out a lot of your other fans who can't afford to go watch your product and can't really consume it very regularly, like in the state of Iowa, where 6 teams, the 6 main teams that are at least closest to the area that people in the state would enjoy, you can't watch them. It's kind of
who would be seventh? Would the Royals be seventh?
No, the Royals are in the top 6.
Okay.
So Kansas City it's like 3 hours from Des Moines. So those folks in the central or western half of the state are Royals fans, like out towards Nebraska. Those are Royals fans. And then the Cubs are the number 1 team on the eastern side of the state, but there are some White Sox fans. The Twins are 4.5 hours to the north of Iowa City. So a lot of fans on the eastern side, especially the northeastern side of the state, are Twins fans. And then, the Brewers,
right,
and the Cardinals as well. There are some Cardinals fans, and then probably the Brewers are last, but there are Brewers fans, and it's just amazing that none of those teams are easy to watch in that area unless you have the cable package that gets you the ability to watch those teams. It is very difficult to do it, and people in the state of Iowa keep asking, like, when are you gonna ask about the Rob Manfred about the blackout restrictions? And I believe somebody did last year at a press conference before the Field of Dreams game, and he kind of gave the milquetoast answer, like, "Oh, we're going to do everything in our power to try to come up with a solution for that. We're still waiting." It's been a discussion. It's been a discussion long before I arrived in the state of Iowa, and it's been a discussion ever since.
And Al, we're going to let you go, but the point that you said that really resonates to me, and I think a lot of older baseball fans can sort of agree with this, is you said that they're not adding new fans. They want to go after that young fan, which they haven't been very good at attracting. But at the same time, if you're doing what you're doing in the state of Iowa, if you do that around the country, you're alienating the heart and soul of what baseball was in America. And I can't understand how Rob Manfred, the commissioner's office, the higher ups in Major League Baseball can't see what they're doing to that fan base. It's so obvious.
All they see is a spreadsheet.
But money does not gain fandom, and money is not going to continue to flow in if you alienate a fan
There's no
base
way
that
the
way.
Green Bay Packers would ever work in Major League Baseball.
No.
They don't want them.
Not at all.
Right.
No, and as you said, Brett, and I'll keep it brief, but as you said, they see spreadsheets, and that's really about it. Man, 700
revenue and profit.
We get to charge these people an entire mortgage payment to come watch the two worst teams in the league. Can't wait. We get to charge these people $70 to come watch a Class A minor league game. Can't wait.
Mm-hmm. Baseball's offices on Park Avenue filled with Ivy League MBAs that do not know a hit from a run from an error.
It's a good point. That's a good point. All right, Al, we're going to let you go. Hey, real quick, David Cobb's in the Quad Cities. Send him some good places to eat and hang around.
Take care of him
around town. Take care of him.
I will let him know. He was on our show a few days ago.
Same day as us, right after us.
I believe so. We're getting ready for the draft, and Iowa's going to have maybe their first top 5 pick ever in program history on Thursday. So David joined us, and we're gearing up for tomorrow night.
For sure. But Alex, appreciate it, man.
Thank you, Alex.
Thanks for joining us.
Stay cool.
Of course. Talk to you guys next week.
See you, man.
Yeah, and I really hope you were listening, Alex, because there's some very, very dire informational stuff that he just dropped in regards to the state of Iowa and what the MLB is doing to them. You can follow him on Twitter at AlexCoon523. Now, there's one place that Memphis has been missing for a while, and that place is Bell Tavern. It has been closed for a while, but it's reopening soon, and Memphis will be a better place because of it. People have been pent up for a while because of the pandemic and other reasons, but it's time to get back out and get it going. You know about 117 Prime on Union. All you do is walk through the dining room and you access the best bar in Memphis. It's the perfect place to start your night with a gourmet bite to eat, burgers, sandwiches, and starters, and end your night with the coldest beer in town and craft cocktails that you can only find in Barbaro Alley, tucked in between 2nd and Main. It is Bell Tavern. We have to get to a late timeout. We will be back to wrap up hour number 1 next.
Add a little fun to your lunch break. Join Johnny Radio for Sports 56 Happy Hour from 11 to 1 every weekday on Sports 56 and 98.5 FM.
It's time to vacation at home with Family Leisure. That's right. Enjoy a vacation in your own backyard with a little help from Family Leisure. Like play gyms and trampolines, they're now $500 off. And those trampolines, by the way, they've got that mesh on the side, so trampolines are now safe, and you'll be the hit of the neighborhood. They've got hot tubs in stock and ready to go, and you can get up to $1,000 off when you pick them up. All kinds of do-it-yourself pool specials, like savings of up to $1,500 on all in-stock pools when you pick it up and install them yourself. And if you're looking for patio furniture, then stop on in, because they have tons in stock and they're ready for you to pick up. So get ready for that vacation at home with the help from Family Leisure. Family Leisure's Vacation at Home Sale. It's happening right now at Witten Road and I-40, where family and fun truly do come together.
Hi, this is Troy Fiveash, owner of Fiveash Roof Services. As we all know, Memphis can be a hotbed for severe weather, and that weather can play havoc on our roofs. Most people don't know what they should do first when they're concerned about the condition of their roof. Call their insurance company, call a contractor, or trust a door-to-door salesman that's making claims that are hard to believe. My advice would be call the contractor that you know and trust. If you don't know any, research your local contractors and give 2 or 3 a call. I hope your research will lead you to us. Have your roof inspected, decide for yourself what you should do and whether or not you should file a claim with your insurance company. It's your home, it's your policy, and it's your money. Don't let anyone pressure you into anything. If you give Five Ash Roofing a call, we promise personal service with a member of our family with no pressure and no hype. Five Ash Roof Services, proud partner of the Memphis Tigers and the official roofer of the Tigers home team. Five Ash Roofing, fair, honest, and ethical. 367-0050 or memphisroofer.com.
Five Ash Roofing, it's what we do. We're here for you.
The Take It On sales event is still going strong at Gossett Mitsubishi on the Pike. Go the extra mile with 41 MPG Highway in your 2022 Mitsubishi Mirage G4. $259 a month or buy for $17,885. Get ready for your summer road trip with 2022 Mitsubishi Outlander Sport. $359 a month or buy for $25,285. Plus 2022 Outlander. Vacation ready with 7 seats. We Gossett at $369 a month or $29,005. And you'll always always get our stellar 10-year, 100,000-mile powertrain limited warranty. So get to Gossett Mitsubishi today, 1870 Covington Pike, or shop online at memphismitsubishi.com.
If you want it, we got it at Gossett Motor Cars.
All 72 months at 3.9, Outlander NZO 68336, MSRP 29505, Sport NU 009708, MSRP 26035, G4 NHF 05848, MSRP 18385, includes all rebates and incentives, PF 695, excludes tax title and license with approved credit. See dealer for complete details. Offer valid through end of the month, dealer stock only.
Something you probably do know. Progressive can not only offer you a great price when you bundle home and auto, they offer you round-the-clock protection. Something you probably don't know, a driveway basketball hoop including the base weighs around 400 pounds. Something you probably do know, there's a windstorm coming. Something you probably don't know, a basketball hoop tipping over can poke a hole in a car roof like a can opener. Bundle your home and auto with Progressive and get more than a great price. Get round-the-clock protection. Something you know for the things you don't know. Coverage from Progressive Casualty Insurance Company, affiliates, and third-party insurers and subject to policy terms. Bundle discount not available in all states or situations.
The NBA playoffs is the world's greatest celebration of basketball. Hennessy champions the moves players are making on and off the court because true greatness is making a long-term impact on your community. Make moves that start movements. Hennessy, the spirit of the NBA. Please enjoy Hennessy responsibly.
Now, back to Sports Time on Sports 56 and 98.5 FM. This hour is brought to you by Lexus of Memphis.
Open the door, sit in the seat, turn the key, and go.
Here once again are Gabe Kuhn and Brett Norsworthy.
Shot callers, brawlers, who be dipping in the bins with the spoilers. On the low from the Jake and the Taurus, trying to get my hands on some grants like Horace. Yeah, living the raw deal.
Rolling along. Sports Time on Sports 56 with Gabe and Stats. Boomer, how about it? Final in the College World Series in Game 1. Oklahoma beats A&M 5-1. So that's something.
They get to sit till Saturday night.
Yeah, they do. They do. And I would imagine Ole Miss wants to finish this thing off tonight.
You sure want to.
You really want
if
to. You don't want them
then all the
sitting
pressure
on
swings.
Well, because then also you're going to have to waste one of your best pitchers, too.
Yeah. You can get everything lined up.
In a potential
and especially
elimination
against a team that's getting lined up.
Yeah. All right. Now, in the NBA, Woj today dropped I guess, somewhat of a Woj bomb. It was a little bit of a report, but it was about the Nets. And it was about Kyrie Irving and his leverage in negotiations with the Nets. But the leverage is that Kevin Durant will want to trade if Kyrie Irving leaves. Now, I look at this, and it's obvious. It's very, very clear. But I just can't help but think about when the Nets put this thing together. They had an idea of who they were putting together and what these guys were about, and certainly Kyrie and how he goes about his business. But for it to be this way, for it to be every step is pulling teeth, every step you have to make sure that you're pleasing everyone, it is so bad at this point. And to be a franchise in this situation, to be a franchise that's basically waiting on a whim for your superstars to say that they want to return to your franchise, this is not what they set out or even thought was remotely going to be the situation.
And they talked a lot of stuff directed toward the Knicks. Now, they've been better than the Knicks, but and won a lot. Now, Kyrie
and
Steve Nash in the middle of it. How long we like this?
Did you see the report? Also, I thought that was a stupid hire, but that's beside the point. Kyrie, there's reports now that the Lakers would be very, very interested in Kyrie.
I bet.
If he wants to leverage his way out of there and doesn't sign back with them. But I can deal with that. It would be reuniting with LeBron. They've won a championship. It would be great. How do you make that happen? Is there a way, realistically, that you can make that happen?
Can you guarantee me 70 games?
You can't just go sign Kyrie, by the way.
No.
If you're the Lakers. Your cap situation is
not
awful.
fantasy football.
Yeah, you can't just do that. You'd have to move around a lot of money. You'd have to probably trade some pieces to make that happen. But
the Lakers have a way of making it happen.
Yeah, and the NBA likes to be complicit when the Lakers want to make something happen. Except for the one that I think back to though. No, but you remember the Chris Paul situation though with Kobe. They didn't let that one happen. That one got declined.
That's very true. At Belly Acres, their motto is City-Fied Farm Fresh, and their goal is simple: provide a fun, unique farm-to-table experience for the entire family, and they have 2 great locations and a third on the way. Silo Square in South Haven coming before the end of 2022. Now in Regalia at 6130 Poplar, and in Overton Square at 2102 Trimble Place. Signature burgers made from 100% grass-fed beef, sandwiches, salads, everything fresh, and the best milkshakes on a hot day anywhere. And TV, Sports on. I promise you, all the College World Series, all the NBA draft tomorrow night will be on at both locations. Burgers like the Dare Ya, the Double Dare Ya, the Melt in Your Mouth, and you must try the Voodoo Moo Moo. It is the quality brand the Belly Acres team developed using grass-fed beef with creative homemade toppings in a fun farm setting right here in the big city. The goal, to become even more sustainable as they grow, and they will. Silo Square coming soon, now in Overton Square and in Regalia. The very best quality available in Memphis. It's at Belly Acres. Burgers, shakes, and smiles every time at Belly Acres.
Now, that'll do it for hour number one. Hour number two is going to be a very, very busy one. We're going to have Jake Thompson at 4:30 from on3.com to talk some Ole Miss. He's live in Omaha. We have Way Back Wednesday to end hour number two. But coming up next, we have a lot to talk about with golf when we bring on John Goen. Justin Thomas has withdrawn from the Travelers. PGA, the tour has spoken up. Jay Monahan has spoken up. It looks like the Open Championship will allow live golfers to participate. Have a lot to discuss with John Goen next.
Your favorite Italian deli, Lucchese's, now ships. For over 25 years, Memphis has trusted Lucchese's to feed their loved ones. And now they've created 4 great comfort food meals that can be shipped across the country to your family and friends. Enjoy lasagna, ravioli, tortellini, spaghetti, Italian spinach, and delicious sauces with no MSGs, no preservatives, and no artificial colors. Lucchese's can ship anywhere in the U.S. All you need to do is go online to lucchese's.com to place your order or call 901-766-9922.
It's been said that the world always looks brighter from behind a smile. So why not let my friend, Dr. Mehdi Sadeghi, and his friendly staff at the Smile Center Memphis help brighten up your world. The Smile Center is a local family dentistry located in Germantown, specializing in cosmetic crown veneers, teeth whitening, and Invisalign clear braces, all with free consultation and second opinions. New patients are welcome, and if you don't have dental insurance, don't frown. They have an in-office plan to fit your specific needs. Same-day emergency service available as well. Give Mehdi a call, 309-1333, or visit their website at smilecentermemphis.com.
Brian Elder's Roofing Solutions.
If you have damage to your home and have your insurance carrier involved, you need a great contractor. You also need a team that has seen claims of all shapes and sizes, residential or commercial. After our inspection, we'll share our findings and give you our professional opinion. Some people say you get what you pay for. However, our opinion is free. Trust the name you can depend on, like the tens of thousands of families Brian and I have served over the past 20 years here in the Mid-South. Brian Elder Roofing. We'll measure your roof from outer space and share our team's experience for your property and claim. Repaired roofs, replacement roofs, big roofs, tiny roofs, insurance roofs, flat roofs, TPO roofs, asphalt roofs, tile roofs, slate roofs, metal roofs. If your roof needs some love, call me. 901-867-0303 for Brian Elder Roofing and Contracting.
Call 867-0303. Brian Elder's Roofing Solutions.
Hey, Mid-South, looking for the perfect ride that's perfect for you? We got it at Gossett Kia on the Pike. And if you don't see exactly what you want, no problem, we can order it for you. Right now at Gossett Kia, get a 2022 Kia Forte LXS, $210 a month. 2022 Kia Soul LX, $219 a month. Both 36-month leases and $27.99 due at signing. And road trip ready SUV 2022 Kia Sorrento LX, $315 a month, 36-month lease and $34.99 due at signing. And all Gossett Kias come equipped with a 10-year, 100,000-mile powertrain limited warranty. That's Gossett Kia, 1900 Covington Pike, or shop 24/7 at KiaCovingtonPike.com.
If you want it, we got it at Gossett Motor Cars.
All 36-month leases, $650 acquisition fee, $30,000 per year, 20 cents excess mileage, 0 security deposit. Forte, $89.89, $848, MSRP $20,770. Sold in $78, $68, $67, MSRP $20,880. Sorrento, NG $128, $223, MSRP $31,980. Must finance through Kia plus tax Highland license with approved credit. See dealer for complete details. Offer valid through 7/5/22. Dealer stock only. Warranty is a limited powertrain warranty. See Kia.com or retailer for details.
At Jason's Deli, when you're dining in or picking up curbside, you can expect wholesome food and no surprises, just delicious sandwiches, crisp salads, and quick quality meals made with the freshest ingredients and no artificial trans fats, MSG, high fructose corn syrup, or artificial colors and dyes. Around here, a lot of thought goes into what we put into our food and what we take out of it, because you're not just taking a bite, you're getting a taste of who we are. New items are constantly being created to expand our menu for all tastes and special diets with vegan and gluten-free options available. Convenience and on-time delivery you can count on. It's just a click away at jasonsdeli.com, so whether you need to feed 5 people or 5,000, the team at Jason's Deli, they have the credentials and the commitment to keep you satisfied. Freshness is nearby at Jason's Deli with locations at Ridgeway in the Park Place Center, Poplar and Highland, Germantown Road in Cordova, and on Goodman Road in Olive Branch. Jason's Deli. It's wholesome food and no surprises.
We are Sports 56, WHBQ Memphis, and W253DF Memphis, Flynn Broadcasting Stations. Now, back to Sports Time on Sports 56 and 98.5 FM. This hour is brought to you by the Big Green Egg.
How do you want that cooked? Burnt to a crisp or bloody as hell?
Here once again are Gabe Kuhn and Brett Norsworthy.
And the Hellcat watch me race a drift. That little boy problem don't play with him. Like to ride in traffic with the Drake grip. We'll wipe his nose.
Hour 2 is here. Sports Time on Sports 56 with Gabe and Stats. I'm Gabe. He's Stats. Brian Dake is, of course, producing the program and assisting him. Colin Kirby in there.
Way to go, Colin.
Good to see Colin today. Now, let's go ahead and bring in our good friend, as we do at 4 o'clock on a hump day. We bring in John Goen from Temper Trust Golf. John, what's happening?
Hey, John.
Guys, just another boring day in golf. Not much going on. I'm sure that there's other things we can discuss. So,
a lot of press conferences, isn't it, John?
I'm open. I'm telling you, it's interesting to say the least, isn't it? You know, kind of find it pretty interesting that we're going to accelerate our timetable on, bumping up purses and coming up with some
smaller fields,
exclusive events for, top 50 in FedEx Cup standings and a little bit more money in these events.
When do we go appearance fee? When do you get something no matter what? You show up on Thursday. If you're gone on Friday, you still get a check. When does that happen?
I don't know. I mean, the tour's always fought that, right? I mean, the European Tour and others have always had appearance fees, with these events. I mean, obviously we've talked about it before. Tiger, made more than what the purse was to go over to, Dubai and all these other places to be able to just show up. I don't know. I don't. It's hard for me to envision that, just because of how firm the tour has stood on that ground.
The ultimate meritocracy. If you don't play well, you don't get a check.
But at the end of the day, I mean, they're not competing against that anymore. You're competing against a tour now that is pretty much guaranteeing these guys money regardless. And but I mean, if you're holding firm to what your business plan is with these guys and these 156 player fields and stuff like that, I mean, you're not going to be able to compete that way. So it's going to be very, very interesting, I guess, from my perspective that, now, what the guys that are, that are winning basically like the fall events and, now that we're going back to, well, really we're not going back to what the old schedule was, because of course you would have run January through November would have been, or October or whatever for the Tour Championship to wrap up and stuff like that. But, the new schedule basically now starting in January again and running through August, they're going to figure out what the fall is going to look like for the other folks to be able to jockey for a position to get into the 125. And I think that's going to be the group that's ultimately impacted by whatever the future of the PGA Tour is going to look like.
Young and a little, I don't mean this derogatory, but lesser names.
Yeah, but but let's face it, right? I mean, those are the guys from the beginning of the new tour season in October through, let's call it, the more traditional start, maybe even call it Phoenix and stuff like that, where the guys kind of get back into it again. That whole portion of the calendar was always for the guys that, could go out there and make a pretty comfortable living and then at the end of the day, not necessarily be anything for the balance of their year, but they've done fairly well for themselves, within that 4 or 5 month window when nobody's really playing.
Now, I'm curious about this because Jay Monahan, hearing what he had to say today, is basically if it's about $1 bill, we can't compete. I'm curious, and I know it would be different golfer to golfer how they feel about that type of messaging. But as a whole, how do you think that messaging actually comes across to guys on the tour right now?
I'm not really sure. I think that it's very interesting for him to say that.
Right.
But it's the whole press conference was as firm as he stood with regard to these players and what was going on and how they were going to handle it. Clearly they feel as if at this point in time, if they don't do something and do something in a much quicker fashion than what they were originally planning on doing, that their tour was going to be substantially impacted by this. Regardless of the Scotty Schefflers and the, Rory McIlroys and Justin Thomases and whatever coming out and trashing all of these guys that are leaving or have left and everything. Because let's face it, at the end of the day, we're all about money. I mean, if there is the ability for us to go make more money someplace else, that's what we're going to do.
Yep.
So I think that, again, I think that middle of the pack, 100 on the money list, FedEx Cup points list down, that, the Korn Ferry guys and stuff like that are going to be the ones that are ultimately impacted by what the future of the PGA Tour is going to look like. So, I don't know. Clearly, they came up with a lot of money in a very short period of time.
Right. They did.
To be able to figure out how they're going to compete about what's going on with LIV. I think clearly, the top of the money list and the FedEx Cup points list now are going to be the ones that benefit from it. And maybe it goes back to more of, what Tiger said a few weeks ago, about how that's how the adjustment should ultimately look. Maybe these guys on the top end of the list should have the ability to be able to make some more money in other ways and stuff like that. So, it goes back to a very interesting conversation I had with someone in Birmingham about how don't be surprised if you see some team events, start coming about, from the PGA Tour in a very similar model to what's kind of going on, in these LIV events. Yeah. So, it's like I said, again, it's pretty evident that Monahan and the guys at the tour are now panicking, for I guess lack of a better term. That they got to figure it out, and they got to figure it out very, very quickly. Yeah, or else there's going to be more.
This isn't going away. It's seemingly an empty supply of money if they stay committed to it. Again, this isn't Charlie Ebersol running the AAF. This is real big coin. Now, one thing I think is hurting LIV outside of Greg Norman, the 54 holes and the shotgun starts. It has a very kind of Tuesday afternoon corporate feel to it. It doesn't feel like a real tournament. They might address that or not. But, John, one thing the tour did, they were right, but it didn't work. They tried shaming people not to be associated with them and trotted out the 9/11 families that I support and I defend, and I'm sorry for what happened to them. It didn't work.
Yeah, absolutely not. And, I think that, I guess fortunately or unfortunately in society nowadays, that's how we ultimately try to handle people. We're going to do everything we possibly can to smear, I guess, in order to get the way we want things to go.
Money talk.
And I've always taught, we try to, in today's society with social media and everything, we try to own each other. We can't just say, oh, you're wrong, or we can't say, oh, we have a difference of opinion. We try to make that person feel small and inferior.
and we ultimately try to force them into our opinion,
right,
and our vision and our view of things.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so Brett brings up 54 holes, shotgun starts as issues. This is the issue I'm sort of running into, and I thought about it yesterday. How long can a golf league sustain itself when in reality there is no developmental league? There's nothing that really is developing you before the Live Golf International Series. There's nothing there yet. And I haven't really heard of word one about a possible developmental league for them. So
they're going to let the Korn Ferry Tour and the PGA Tour be their developmental league.
That's interesting to me, though. I don't know. That doesn't seem like a very sustainable thought process.
Well, look, it is one event into whatever it's going to be for the near term and the long term.
Yeah.
It's hard to know how they're going to adjust, change, do whatever in order to make their league more appealing. I mean, clearly, as we discussed last week, they really need, from an American perspective, to find a television partner.
Yep.
In order to get more eyeballs on it. The 54 holes and the shotgun starts and stuff like that. I mean, I get it. I understand it. Clearly there are ways to make adjustments, for that as they work their way through it. But, at the same time, it goes back to a couple weeks ago where, it's different. Yeah, it's different. It's absolutely different than anything the traditional golfer has ever watched in their entire lifetime. And it's not necessarily a bad thing. I get that, you've got other tours that just play 54 holes. And, granted there's no shotgun starts, but, as you look at maybe some things as far as longevity and bodies and how, if you look at the wear and tear on these guys, over time for as athletic as they are nowadays and everything else, then, is one less round of golf a week going to help their body? And clearly, yes, we're only talking about currently 8 events and the potential of expanding to 15 events next year. Mm-hmm. And clearly only playing in 8 events will allow these guys to remain healthy. For someone who has obviously done this, for some time, and I'm sure, there's a lot of people that have played golf for an extended period of time. It does. I remember when I was in college and you heard about Fred Couples and Davis Love III that are playing Sensicore steel shafts in order to cut down on vibration in their hands and wrists because of the pain that they're feeling, because of all these golf balls that we've hit over time. There are tolls, physical tolls that are taken on your body by doing this. And they clearly are greater now, the more physically fit and stronger these guys are.
Yep.
Koepka and wrists and knees, and Tiger with back and knees and all this stuff. So, I think that there is something very, very appealing to Live, smaller schedule and things along those lines that are going to help these guys, maybe be able to play less, but be, better from a health perspective, in the future. So I know that that's a very long answer for what we were talking about.
But true, the wear and tear is going to be a big factor, John. And this is the world we live in. We talk the issues of the day. We're 12 minutes and 41 seconds in, and we hadn't mentioned Matthew Fitzpatrick. That's not very fair, is it?
It's not, especially as great as that last. That last day was
classic.
If we really think about it, guys, the last 2 majors we have watched have been unbelievable on Sunday. With what happened, obviously, in Tulsa, and now to watch what happened up in Massachusetts, just an incredible major. It's why we watch majors. It's why when my wife and I were dating, and Greg Norman had a 7-shot lead at the Masters, and we went to Sedona, Arizona, and we drove back down into the valley, and Norman had lost his lead. I looked at her and said, "Babe, I'm not ever missing the final round of another major again."
You know what you get when you sign up for it.
This is what happened.
That's it. And Christine was nice enough to oblige.
She has been nice enough to kind of give me those Sundays of major events, as we've now been married for 25 years.
You texted me Sunday. We were texting back and forth. Classic, awesome, great Sunday. It was riveting. And his sandy par on 18.
Wow.
We'll go down in golf lore.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I mean, that shot was unbelievable because, I look at it from my standpoint, and I'm going to try to hit that golf shot right there, and more than likely I'm going to block it too much, and I'm going to catch that slope, and I'm going to be dead in the next shot. I mean, I've got nothing.
Most of us leave it back at our feet.
Oh, sure. Yeah, there's a really good chance I still fat that and just leave it in the bunker anyhow. But I mean, that shot was crazy.
The two missed putts for Zalatoris, great putts.
Yep. Yeah, the one on 18 I thought was in. I thought it was in the whole way.
All the way.
I mean, because everybody seemed to have a little bit more right movement and hit, but they were higher. I felt like that the ones who had a chance late, the line was a little bit higher, and Zalatoris seemed to, stick it, I don't know, half a ball out, whatever, and as it's dying, perfect speed, it felt like, as it's dying, that it's going to die right there at the end, and it's going to catch an edge, Tiger-esque at Torrey Pines, and dive into the hole. But look, I made the comment coming out of Tulsa. I mean, yet again, Will Zalatoris is in another major conversation. Yep. So, I mean, clearly this kid is a great player. And you do kind of, your heart kind of does break for him here. You lose to Justin Thomas in a playoff. You've got a 2-shot lead at one point in time in the final round of the U.S. Open. And clearly, though, he still has some nerves in those situations because driver-wise, he was horrid as soon as he got the lead back. When he has to chase, though, he seems to swing a lot more confidently.
That's weird.
From what we saw. But when he gets in the lead, it's almost like he gets into full-on protect mode, and we hold on to it a little bit more, and those fades that he can hit turn into, like, hold on, and here we go, going right. But still, just he's going to win. He's going to win very, very soon. And clearly it wouldn't surprise any of us at this point, if his first win is going to wind up being a major, very similar to what Matt Fitzpatrick did last week. But just a great, absolutely great golf tournament. I think that I almost sent you another text stats that since I basically called when they were at 5 under par, I'm like, do I get bonus points for calling the winning score?
No bonus points, John.
No bonus points. That's the Rob Fisher approach.
Right.
Rob Fisher would have given himself bonus points for predicting the correct
bonus
final
points
score.
for making the cut.
Yes.
Absolutely. Rob would the scoring system would Rob.
I wasn't familiar that bonus points were involved with this.
They're not, but it was always a sliding scale. With
Rob was always in last place, and he was trying to figure out how he was going to come from behind.
And usually would. And
absolutely. Yeah, no. But he always wanted to manipulate the rules at the end of the day.
It was beautiful. John, I know it's hot and dry. I know you're pumping a lot of water, but tell our listeners how they can participate tomorrow in the Scramble and this weekend with Tee Times at Timber Trust Golf.
Yeah, no, definitely. It's a bit crazy right now. But golf course is holding up fairly well. We're really just kind of focusing on greens, make sure that the greens continue to have, as much water as they need to kind of get through this stretch. We're obviously very hopeful that we get a little bit of rain here, maybe Sunday. It's not necessarily forecast to be a lot, but we'll get a little bit. So we've got, firm, fast conditions right now. The golf course is in decent shape, fairway-wise. Greens are good. But in order to book your tee time for the next few days, obviously give us a shout, 662-895-3530. Visit us at timbertrustgolf.com. Tomorrow night, obviously, is our normal Thursday night boondoggle kickoff, to your early weekend. I know we do have a few spots left still for tomorrow night. And again, you can call us to sign up, 662-895-3530, and visit us this weekend.
Do we have a carryover skin from last week? Any big pot?
No carryover skin. Some lucky sucker always seems to have that one skin
Usually
every
you.
single week at this point. No, it's not usually me. That tends to breed some discontent there a little bit if it's always me. So, but matter of fact, I haven't cashed in some time.
Tomorrow night's your night. I feel it coming.
It could be tomorrow night.
Bryant, you're up first. Give us your lock.
Let's go with Jordan Spieth.
That was quick. John, you're second.
He was ready.
Bang. He left him for me. I just don't know. I mean, we kind of keep overlooking him, but I just don't like guys.
$13 million.
I know, but I don't like guys coming off of after a major because you just feel like that they put so much into it that they're just going to kind of be a little.
Do you want
lackadaisical.
Scotty Scheffler or not?
Thinking out loud, I like it.
I'm going to take Patrick Cantlay because he continued to kind of improve off of his finish day in and day out, and maybe he's a little more hungry.
All right, let me go. I'm going to go Joaquin Neiman.
I love it.
Give me Joaquin Neiman.
So
Brett, what you got?
Kevin Kisner.
Kiz? What's he in the world?
31st.
Okay, gotcha. Still top 40. Back around to Bryant?
I think we're going to go with Brendan Steele.
Brendan Steele. So, by the way,
stage name or real name?
Stage name.
You and your guy.
We broke up. It was ugly. It was very ugly.
Really ugly. Have y'all ever made a?
Not yet. I haven't talked to him.
Okay. You no longer have a golf guy.
John,
no.
I had a
really bad breakup, John.
Bad breakup.
I had a bad breakup with a golf friend over playing alternate shot. There's another term for it in golf, though, isn't it, John? John, your shot pick.
Oh me. I'll go with the guy who had a great week last week. Had an unfortunate Sunday, but I will go with Keegan Bradley.
There you go. I'm going to go Cameron Tringale. I've already picked him once. He let me down last time, though.
And I'm going to try it again with Davis Riley. One more time. 3 weeks in a row is my shot.
I was going to say, good Lord, everybody on like PGA Tour and everybody loves him, Davis Riley.
They do, and those guys are never right at PGA Tour. But John,
no, they're not.
It's right having you on. Have fun this weekend. Everybody, stay hydrated, stay cool, keep pumping that water. Your greens stay in good shape, and have a great weekend. We appreciate talking golf.
John, appreciate you, man.
Guys, thanks so much. Maybe we'll have a quiet week next week, and we can, just talk about random stuff.
I wouldn't count on it.
Nope, not right now. I wouldn't either. Y'all have a great weekend. All right, take care.
Thank you.
Have a good one, John. John Goen from Timber Trust Golf, always with the golf talk and the picks. That is kind of sad, though. 15 minutes into a conversation, you can't even.
Before we got to a major winner and
an unbelievable Sunday.
Isn't that something? His first major,
but you can't help it.
It's cloud, the Brooks Koepka cloud he talked about.
It's the cloud that he
participated.
Yeah, willfully stood under. He followed that cloud.
In the world of ugly breakups, how bad was it?
Yeah, let's hear about this.
I mean, this is like Taylor Swift. I might have to make a song about it.
Is that right?
Yeah.
You'd be the Taylor Swift making the song. He would.
He's
John
the
Major?
bad guy. Oh yeah.
Okay. Or John Mayer.
John Mayer.
John
Not
Major.
Major.
John Major.
John Mayer.
I think John Mayer now is doing like Grateful Dead.
Yeah,
covers.
he is. He's the lead guy.
He's the
yeah.
frontman
He's the frontman for him.
That's pretty cool.
The Dead.
That's good for him.
Didn't really see him as Jerry Garcia, but
he was always he makes songs for women, really.
I like
Your Body is a Wonderland.
I like
yeah.
What's wrong with those songs? I have them all on my.
Do you? How often do you listen to them?
Well, quite often.
There's a
We'll see the repetition on them, can we?
Yeah, you can. You can. I don't know if I have any John Mayer on my.
I don't.
On my.
I have the duet with Taylor Swift. What are y'all laughing about?
What's the dude? Which one was that?
I can't think of the name of it. I'll go to
But it's in there somewhere.
He's got Your Body as a Wonderland. He's got that whole first debut album. Like he's a big John Mayer fan, and we haven't heard about it till now. That's something. All right, let's go ahead and get to a break. When we come back, we have to talk some college baseball. We have one final in the books. Oklahoma moves on to the College World Series final, and they're waiting for their opponent, and their opponent could be decided in the next 2 games. We'll see what happens tonight. Ole Miss versus Arkansas. We bring on Jake Thompson from On3.com talking Ole Miss next.
You have opinions?
You bet.
Of course you do. Everyone does. Hit us up on the AutoZone listener line, 360-8255, 360-8255.
I often say they've set the bar for the way car business should be done at Homer Skelton Hyundai. You know how close that is. It's right there at Highway 78, Lamar Avenue, and Craft Road, the very first exit in Mississippi. I say it because they always come up with new innovations. And right now, when we've had all these shortages on new cars, Homer Skelton Hyundai is always going to come through for you. You won't pay more than the sticker price for a new car at Homer Skelton Hyundai. That's Chris True's pledge. You'll never pay more than sticker price. Those other guys, they could charge you a whole lot more for that new car because they know there's a shortage. That never happens at Homer Skelton Hyundai. That's part of the philosophy and the team that's been together for about 15 years now. You want the best of service? You want the best of products? It's the combination and the trust you'll always get from the best guys around. Homer Skelton Hyundai and Genesis of Olive Branch.
Moving is stressful, but Black Tie Moving can take the worry out of the process. Whether you're moving across town or across country, moving your home or your office, your personal moving concierge from Black Tie Moving will work with you to design a plan that perfectly fits your budget and needs. And they're available 24/7 to answer any questions you have. Give Black Tie Moving a call at 901-316-6196 or go to blacktiemoving.com/Memphis to get your personal, no-obligation quote from the moving experts at Black Tie Moving.
Say there was a place, the perfect place for everything you need for tailgates and patios, grills and chairs, charcoal and coolers, everything to make a great game or a great day. That perfect place wouldn't be a warehouse. It's East Memphis Ace Hardware. Locally owned and operated at Quince and White Station, East Memphis Ace Hardware is where you'll find Benjamin Moore paints, local plants from local growers, and Black & Decker tools. Around the block, what you need in stock with people who know their tailgates. Welcome to East Memphis Ace Hardware, the home convenience store.
Barden Stone has been serving the Mid-South area for over 3 generations. What sets them apart and makes them a unique landscape stone center? They have one of the largest selections with a wide variety of colors and sizes, all the way from cobblestones to garden rock and pebbles from ground cover, plus fieldstone and flagstone, stepping stones and stacking stones, even landscape boulders. In addition to a wide variety of stones and rocks, Barden Stone staff is very knowledgeable. Whether you're a homeowner, contractor, design professional, Barden Stone can answer any question pertaining to the use of stones from A to Z. Barden Stone, they know stone inside and out. Barden Stone, 1 mile south of Park at 1557 Cherry Road. Barden Stone, open for you Monday through Friday, 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. and Saturday, 8 a.m. to 12 noon. Call 901-683-8264 and visit Barden Stone.
Hi, this is Lauren Choate with Choate's Air Conditioning, Heating, and Plumbing. Now that the warmer weather has arrived, let Choate's perform their $99 20-point AC tune-up to get your AC ready for the hot summer months ahead. Also, Choate's is offering our half-off 1 pound of Freon coupon on our website for you to use. Does your HVAC system need to be replaced? If so, right now is an excellent time to take advantage of Carrier's 60 months, no-interest financing on select systems. Want to improve your indoor air quality? Choate's is also offering our new Abco air purifier for $100 off when you get your air ducts cleaned. UV technology sterilizes biological contaminants and neutralizes odors and toxic VOCs. Match that technology with getting your air ducts cleaned, and you'll have the indoor air quality your family needs. Better call 347-8086 today. These specials won't last long. Turn to the experts with Choate's and let our family serve your family.
Mid-South Hobbies is passionate about your hobby. They have your favorite model airplanes, boats, race cars, and trains to build with brands you know like Traxxas, Lionel, and LGB. Mid-South Hobbies has all the accessories to make them complete and thousands of paint colors to make them shine. You can reach the sky with rockets and kites or reach deep into your imagination with action figures, comic book superheroes, and fantasy quest games. Get passionate about your hobby at Mid-South Hobbies, 4862 Summer Avenue.
Now, back to Sports Time on Sports 56 and 98.5 FM. This hour is brought to you by the Big Green Egg.
Bon appetit.
Here once again are Gabe Kuhn and Brett Norsworthy.
Papa was a Rolling Stone, but now I got Rolling Stones in the
Back in Sports Time on Sports 56. Gabe and Stats with you. I'm Gabe. He's Stats. Just want to lay out the rest of the show for you before we bring on Jake Thompson from On 3 to talk about Ole Miss versus Arkansas tonight. Way Back Wednesday will be at the bottom of this hour after Jake, and then at 5 o'clock we'll bring on Derek Murray for about 10 to 15 minutes to talk some NBA draft before we get to Taco Bell Crunch Time. We will have to be out early for Learfield's coverage of the Ole Miss Arkansas game, pregame at 5:30, first pitch at 6. But without further ado, let's bring him on. Jake Thompson from On3.com, covering Ole Miss at Jake Thompson On3 on Twitter. Jake, how's it going?
I'm doing great, guys. How are y'all doing? Thanks for having me on today.
We're glad to have you, Jake. Great to hear your voice. And have you paid your personal property taxes yet in Omaha?
I went to City Hall yesterday, changed my address, just waiting
Good.
for the notary to kick in and the final paperwork.
You've been there a while, and you got a while to go. We were talking.
I have.
We were talking off air at the break. Which one you'd much rather be Ole Miss? There's no doubt about it. But doesn't it make it easier for Arkansas to have to empty the holster tonight? They got to go all out instead of that cat and mouse. Do we? How do we go for it tonight? Do we say pitching for tomorrow night? Does Ole Miss hold back something for Saturday? Well, the preferred situation is Ole Miss, but still not easy.
No, it's not. I mean, Ole Miss and Arkansas, I guess they're now 2-2 against each other this year, and each one's been close outside of, I guess, the other night when Ole Miss kind of broke it open to win by 8. But, if you're Ole Miss, you know you've got the rest and the arms because you went 2-0. You're in that catbird seat. And so you can kind of do a bullpen game if you need to. But for Arkansas, they've kind of backed against the wall. Yeah, there's no tomorrow. They got to hope that Smith does what he does and starting out. And, Ole Miss, they got to him a little bit when they played him back in Fayetteville. He worked 6 innings, but Ole Miss got some runs on him. And, just that patience at the plate. They got to work that pitch count early and make Van Horn get a little nervous in the dugout and try to figure out that bullpen.
So from what I see, John Gaddis getting the start, and I believe he's only started 6 or 7 games this year. What should be the expectation for him tonight, and what have you seen from him this year so far?
He transferred in from Texas A&M Corpus Christi. He actually deferred medical school to finish, play baseball one last year and to go to a program and a conference to compete for what they're hopefully going to compete for this weekend in a championship, national championship. And, he was kind of highly touted coming in. He got the start. It was in the weekend rotation, start the season. Just didn't really pan out for him, and he's been a bullpen guy. Then he had an emergency appendectomy that kind of kept him out midway through the season, which I guess a med school student, that's the best one to have. So he kind of knows what's going on in terms of rehab and all that. But he's kind of came on again, found his rhythm in the bullpen. He pitched real well in Coral Gables. It was that blowout game against Arizona, so there really wasn't a lot of pressure on him. But that was the last time he's pitched. He didn't have to pitch in Hattiesburg because, Ole Miss used like 4 pitchers total, sweeping Southern Miss. So, it's been a while since he's pitched competitively. Been a while since he's been a starter, and definitely this is the biggest start he's going to have is in a couple hours.
The one thing that is just so obvious, Ole Miss getting to the College World Series, what they've done in this tournament altogether, they haven't really struggled yet. They haven't faced any serious adversity.
We've used the E word. It's been easy, Jake.
Yeah, no, it has. It's almost been too easy and scarily easy. If that's actually a word to use, but
yeah, it is. It's talk radio, man.
7 this is but no, it's 7-0. I mean, this is, of course, anybody that's here now is playing their best baseball, but Ole Miss is probably playing their best stretch of 7 games that they've ever played all season. And they just kind of came out of nowhere. I mean, a month and a half, we all were kind of working on summer plans and where we are going to go in June, and then. Obviously, Bianco and the crew had bigger ideas. They figured they'd bring us to Omaha for summer.
The vindication for Mike Bianco, he would never flaunt it. He would never spike the ball on anyone, but if he wanted to, he could, Jake.
Oh yeah, no. This is kind of a peacocking time for him if that if he chose to. I don't know if that's his style. I don't think it is, but he has every right to, and I don't think anybody would kind of disagree with that. I mean, he has gone on a revenge tour of sorts, especially with Arizona, Miami, and who they've had tough times with in regionals and supers, and then now they've got a chance to finally kind of put the nail of the nail in the heart of Arkansas that knocked them out in 2019 in the super regional. So it's a revenge tour for a lot of people, and for Bianco, it's kind of a see. I knew what I was doing, or my players just needed to get healthy and get fully healthy, and this is what we thought we'd have in February. They stubbed their toe in April with those 4 straight SEC series losses, but they got back. They got Kevin Graham back. The pitching has sorted itself out with DeLucia and Elliott becoming, aces that maybe we didn't expect, especially Elliott being a freshman who was pitching high school ball, just a year ago.
Jay, both Gabe and I were talking before we came back also about just what the great product you're a part of with On 3. Again, Shannon Terry, he's done it again, and your coverage on the Ole Miss beat, but across the whole platform, y'all have made up a lot of ground really fast.
Oh, we have. We're kind of new to the game. Obviously, Ole Miss Spirit is not, but we're part of the new On 3 family. And since I joined in November, that was kind of the end of football, but the peak of football recruiting, which is kind of their bread and butter, and a lot of what Shannon Terry's sports endeavors are is, recruiting base with team coverage to kind of complement it. And, that's kind of what I help out with. But, the other guys, the Spirit, Chuck Brownsville, Ben Garrett, and Zach Berry, we've all just kind of hit the ground running. And On 3 is, I'm not saying they've really taken anybody, but they may have joined the race quicker than people expected to.
And Zach Berry, old WHBQ intern, we love our guys from the past.
The coolest thing, though, is I feel like there is a level of maybe surpassing here soon, considering the NIL stuff that y'all cover. And y'all, there is, you can go on 3 and see what sort of projected NIL numbers are for recruits coming in.
Instantaneously.
Yeah, it's more. It's 21st century. It's the new age of college football y'all are grasping onto, or college athletics you're grasping onto.
It is. It's still weird for me to see $sign logos next to players' names on the side. And what their valuations
are. In public,
it's
weird, yeah.
It's definitely weird. It's just out there in public knowledge. But, what they've done with the NIL stuff, and they're still tweaking it every day, the database, I think they call it. And, it's helped me kind of learn and understand and grasp how this works because, it's ever-changing. It's fluid. The NIL, I think it'll change 4 different times before we play football, in September. It's just one of those things people are still trying to figure out. But NIL, in terms of for fans and just people who want to see, this kid is who, let's say Ole Miss is going after, what's his number at? It's right there clear as day in layman's terms, and he's got their social media followers, and it's quite an in-depth tool we've got.
Mm-hmm. No question about it. Now, Ole Miss tonight versus Arkansas. What do you expect to happen? And do you think Ole Miss can win tonight and get a little bit of rest before they have to take on Oklahoma?
Well, if you're Ole Miss, you hope you do, because Oklahoma has played one game this week, and that's all they're playing this week. They took out A&M, and they didn't play. They played Sunday, didn't play till today, and now they're off till Saturday. So, Ole Miss, you've got to get in here and get this win, and almost, it's hard to duplicate, especially in baseball, but they've almost got to do it how they did it Monday, where it maybe is a breather of a game late, where it's, not stressed. You're not trying to match what the other dugout's doing, but I think John Gaddis has got to pitch the outing of his career, total career, not just here at Ole Miss. And these bats that have just gotten hot since they got to Coral Gables and stayed hot, Tim Elko, Kevin Graham, Kemp Alderman, and the bottom of the lineup that we've seen with Garrett Wood.
The 9 spot.
Calvin Harris has just been a monster again after he was becoming a monster in the first part of the season before he got injured after Hayden Dunhurst, the other catcher, came back from injury. So they've all just had a lot of starts and stops to their seasons, and now everybody's full go, and I think that offense has got to jump on Arkansas's starter fast and early.
Jake, we have proposed also that we think Rocco of Rocco
fame, please.
We think he deserves the presidential
Nobel Peace Prize. Give him everything.
He is. Yeah, no, he's somehow, I don't know if he's kept the peace, but he's kept it civil, and it's great to see what they chose to do or announced to do the other night, donating to do 2 different causes, and Ole Miss and in Arkansas with some of the money raised with those Jello shots. I went over there the other day just to kind of, do my due journalism diligence and research and see what it was all about. It was, it's a fun thing. That's, I know it's not recent, but it's not an old time tradition, but it's become a thing where, if you're not sitting in over here at Charles Schwab watching the game, you're going across the street, seeing what the other competition and what that leaderboard looks like over there. So it's been a fun environment and atmosphere. Yeah. It's my first time to see this, and I'm happy that Ole Miss chose to let us stick around for a long time to soak it all in.
Speaking of research, have we figured out who chest hair bikini guy is a fan of? Is he Arkansas or Auburn? I know y'all. You guys have seen the picture, right?
Oh yeah. I was watching.
I have.
I can't
saw
unsee it
night.
either.
Yeah, no, we can't. I have to ask. I mean, I had to see it, so everybody has to know about it now. That's how it works.
I saw it last night on, I guess, TV eating dinner, and luckily I hadn't got.
Did you finish your dinner?
I had time to forget it, but no, I'm going to say it's got to be an Arkansas guy. That's my.
It's got to be. And the bucket hat, with the chest hair bikini. Yeah, that's a heck of a look.
That screams guy lazy boating down the Ozark River in the summer. To me, that's what that looks like.
Right down the Buffalo.
No, I hear you.
Yep.
Jake, appreciate it, man. Thanks for joining us.
I appreciate it. Thanks for having me.
Thank you. Can't wait to see you. Jake Thompson with On3.com, and he's on the scene in Omaha for all things Ole Miss. Down in Olive Branch, all things new Silverados, all the 22s. You can imagine All-Star, they have them. Crew cabs, double cabs, 4x4s, high country. Life is good at All-Star. And your 1.9 financing, it's available, and your good credit, well, it deserves it. Kevin, Jeff, Drew, the whole team, they are making it happen. They have all the new Tahoes, lots of new Equinox, the new Suburbans, and the new black Corvette Stingray. You can still pre-order and get anything you can imagine, or go online to allstarautogroup.com and look at all the certified pre-owned Silverados. And if you want to sell any car or truck, All-Star is the go-to place. Bring it on. Get a check today. You don't have to buy anything. See Kevin or Jeff or Drew or any member of the team for some great cash. Bring it on in, even if you owe money on it. Remember, it's not the Pikes, not Bartlett, not Mount Moriah, not Collierville, not South Haven. Here's what it is. It's got to be Olive Branch. Find new roads to All-Star Chevy and Olive Branch. First exit on Highway 78 after you cross into Mississippi, Kraft Goodman Road, or go to allstarautogroup.com.
Brett, I really hope chest hair bikini guy lost a bet, and that's why he had to wear that look.
The girlfriend was just enamored by it, wasn't she?
I don't know. I
assume girlfriend. I don't know. I
who
probably
knows?
went too far.
I want to know
that
who
was
convinced
chest
him.
hair, wasn't it?
And the fact that he shaved it perfectly. I mean, just like straight lines. He took a straight razor to it, got the line up perfect.
Let's get weird in Omaha.
It's
who
beyond
knew?
weird. Well, yeah, the Jell-O shot thing was a little weird to me.
Rocco,
in general,
a man of freedom.
But then please, that's awesome. Hey, we do have a Jell-O shot update.
Give it to us.
7,399 for Arkansas, 5,927 for
2,000 lead, huh?
So the way I see it, Ole Miss wins tonight.
They win.
Knock them out. They have a couple more days to stack.
They don't win tonight. Arkansas just survives till tomorrow night. Ole Miss wins then. They may get a working lead to take it all the way through, not have the dog pile, but win the Jell-O crown.
Rocco is a man of the people.
Where do you hang your Jell-O banner?
I don't know. I have no idea. But Rocco donating stuff to food banks? Or what did he do exactly? He donated.
I think he should be next UN General Secretary.
What exactly did he donate to?
To the student food pantry at both Ole Miss and Arkansas for needy students. Nice.
That's really, really cool. That's really, and he did made a killing, and continues to make
the yacht
a killing.
He bought.
Yeah, seriously, he bought a yacht and then he donated the rest. Golly. All right, let's get to a break. When we come back, you know what we do. We bring the generations together. I got to Millennial Monday on Monday. It's time, though, when we come back for Way Back Wednesday.
Join the voice of the Tigers, Dave Woloshin, for Wolo and Friends. Weekday mornings from 10 to 11 here on Sports 56 and 98.5 FM.
Go
Golfers, it's time to tee it up at Edwin Watts Golf Shops for the Callaway Trade-In Trade-Up event happening now through July 4th. Bring in any of your old clubs and receive a 50% trade-in bonus towards new Rogue ST Woods and Irons and Apex Irons. Both the Rogue and Apex families are designed with artificial intelligence for faster ball speeds. Swing by Edwin Watts Golf Shops and get your 50% bonus trade-in on Callaway Rogue ST and Apex Irons today. And while you're there, get custom fit for free. Edwin Watts Golf Shops, home of the 90-day satisfaction guarantee.
The Take It On sales event is still going strong at Gossett Mitsubishi on the Pike. Go the extra mile with 41 MPG Highway in your 2022 Mitsubishi Mirage G4, $259 a month, or buy for $17,885. Get ready for your summer road trip with 2022 Mitsubishi Outlander Sport, $359 a month, or buy for $25,285. Plus 2022 Outlander, vacation ready with 7 seats. We Gossett at $369 a month or $29,005, and you'll always get our stellar 10-year, 100,000-mile powertrain limited warranty. So get to Gossett Mitsubishi today, 1870 Covington Pike, or shop online at memphismitsubishi.com.
If you want it, we got it at Gossett Motor Cars.
All 72 months at 3.9, Outlander NZO 68336, MSRP 29505, Sport NU 009708, MSRP 26035, G4 NHF 05848, MSRP 18385, includes all rebates and incentives, PF 695, excludes tax title and license with approved credit. See dealer for complete details. Offer valid through end of the month, dealer stock only.
Do you know one of the best things you can do for your employees or family's health? Provide Arctic Clear bottled water. Arctic Clear bottled water is your locally owned and operated bottled water provider. Arctic Clear is 100% natural spring water with free delivery and setup, dependable service, and no long-term contracts. What an easy choice. Call Jeff Manus today, 901-382-2363, or visit arctic-clear.com. Arctic Clear bottled water. Call now, 382-2363. That's 382-2363.
In the alley since 1948, the world-famous Rendezvous. John, it's so good to see everything kind of getting back to normal.
Brett, we've done a lot of ads before, but maybe it's time for me to do a recap. We have valet parking at the end of our alley on Monroe. On Fridays and Saturdays, we give away our wonderful red beans and rice until it runs out. And you know we like to do things local. Miss Barbara Jackson of Taste and See has been making these wonderful chess and pecan pies, that's pecan, not pecan, and key lime pies for dessert. And we just started serving this wonderful gelato from Sweet Magnolia Gelato Company. And just to remind everybody, you don't eat cheese and sausage with a knife and fork. You take a cracker, you put the sausage on it, you put a piece of cheese on it, a little mustard or a little sauce, take a bite and chase it with the pickle. Brett, we've always been the place for all gatherings, whether they're corporate, rehearsal dinners, retirement parties, birthday parties, whatever. We seat anywhere from 20 people to 250 people. And oh, by the way, we are now open for lunch from 11 o'clock on Tuesday through Saturday. Come see us at the Rendezvous.
Make sure to stop by 10th Inning Sports Bar and Grill for the best home-cooked lunches around Monday through Friday, 11 a.m. till 2 p.m. Meatloaf, baked chicken, catfish, and more, along with yummy veggies. Plus a great brunch on weekends from 10 a.m. till 2 p.m. They have plenty of TVs to watch sports, and they have live entertainment on the weekends. Join them on Sundays for Left Turn Sunday NASCAR watch parties with beer and food specials. 10th Inning Sports Bar and Grill, voted the #1 sports bar in DeSoto County. Getwell Road, South Haven.
Let's talk savings, Mid-South. Colin Johnston here from DeSoto Auto Sales. I want to go camping, but I can't till I sell more cars. So this month, my sticky situation could be your sweet solution. You could save a ton on a nicer, newer car. The more you spend, the more you save. Been burned by credit before? My For the People credit approval process is sweeter than chocolate. We want to help you drive a nicer, newer car today. So if you want to be a happy camper, stop burning up in a car you hate. Truck on down to DeSoto Auto Sales today. But hurry, this deal's done once I finally go camping. I'm Colin Johnston, your dealer for the people. New cars are arriving daily. See them all at DeSotoAutoSales.com. That's DeSotoAutoSales.com.
Credit requires bank approval. Negative equity may be refinanced. Vehicle purchase price determines actual discount. Offer absolutely expires on June 30th, 2022.
Now, back to Sports Time on Sports 56 and 98.5 FM. This hour is brought to you by the Big Green Egg.
Dad, come on, you're going to fall in the barbecue.
Here once again are Gabe Kuhn and Brett Norsworthy.
End of hour number 2 on a Wednesday. You know what that means. We got to bring the generations together. It's time for Way Back Wednesday. All right.
That Monday Night Football hook.
Oh, that's nice.
You knew big stuff was getting ready to happen. And then Jagger runs in there, and it's even bigger. Question number 1. Movie question.
Okay.
What legendary Hollywood star, when I say legendary, I mean big, multiple choice, what legendary Hollywood star played the role in the early 70s, maybe late 60s, of a movie about a New Orleans Saints quarterback?
Okay.
Cat Catlin in the movie number 1. Was it A, Marlon Brando, B, Charlton Heston, C, John Wayne, or D, Sidney Poitier?
Give me B, Charlton Heston. Let's go. I knew it. Marlon Brando, come on, playing a football player.
And the around town scenes of New Orleans. And I had never been to New Orleans and saw this movie. It captured it. It made it look magical. Very good.
Wait, what was the name of the
number 1?
But what was the name of the
Cat Catlin?
Cat Catlin.
Yeah,
Cat Catlin.
I think it was the first name, and his nickname was Cat. What was his first name?
Doglin
in the movie. No. Question 2. It wouldn't be Way Back Wednesday without a Watergate question.
Another? Come on.
And I couldn't believe.
Okay, you got to run out of questions eventually.
I'm close. I couldn't believe I left out this book that was made into the movie by Woodward and Bernstein, and in the movie, Robert Redford and Dustin Hoffman played Woodward and Bernstein. Jason Robards in the movie. Hal Linden in the movie. He was Deep Throat. It did not win the Oscar for Movie of the Year. What did? A, Jaws, B, The Hindenburg, C, Star Wars, or D, Rocky?
Oh, those are all good.
Jaws, The Hindenburg, Star Wars, or Rocky.
What's the year?
76.
Okay. That is so hard. No, there's classics there. I'm going to have to say Jaws. Oh, was it Rocky?
Sports theme, Rocky.
Oh, gosh.
Rocky won the Academy Award.
Dang.
Can you believe that?
Star Wars, I didn't think, though. Star Wars is a different one.
Staying with Rocky, what actor played Rocky's cornerman, Mickey Goldmill? A, Burgess Meredith. B, James Caan. C, Red Fox, or D, Robert Wagner?
If James Caan comes back and that's the answer to this, I'm going to be so frustrated because I missed one on James Caan last week. Give me the answers again.
Burgess Meredith, who also played the Penguin in the TV version of Batman.
Don't get a lot of Burgesses these days.
James Caan, who famous for Sonny and The Godfather and in Brian's song, Red Fox, or Robert Wagner?
I couldn't stand myself. You know what? I'm gonna go James Caan B. I just couldn't stand myself if I got it wrong on
Burgess
James Caan.
Meredith.
Burgess Meredith.
Cut me, Mickey.
What a
Cut
name.
me.
What a name.
First Omaha trip ever for the Arkansas Razorbacks came in 1979. What future big league star was the star of that 79 team? A, Sidney Moncrief. B, Kevin Scanlon. C, Kevin McReynolds. Or D, from Wolf Lake, Indiana, Mike Young?
C, Kevin McReynolds. 2 for 4.
The only baseball player on the list.
When you said Sidney Moncrief, I'm like, what are you
Moncrief
doing
in the
here?
Basketball Hall of Fame. Kevin Scanlon, great quarterback from Beaver Falls, PA. And Mike Young, point guard from Wolf Lake, Indiana. 2 out of 4.
Yeah, I did well.
You
got 2 out of 4 on Monday.
I thought you were going 4 for 4 today. I really did.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, you give me the multiple choice. That's fantastic. That's easy stuff. But Sidney Moncrief, come on. You know better than that.
All right, it's time. Playing the iTunes song game.
Okay.
Letter and number.
What's up? Letter
All right,
and number.
let's go. How about J4?
J4. We have a little bit of time. Let's see here. J4.
Could be.
I said I wasn't going to pick J, but I ended up picking J.
And this is my favorite Stone song ever.
What is it?
Jiving Sister Fanny.
There you go. There you go.
From Exile on Main
Bryant,
Street.
let's hear it.
Mine is Jesus is Lord by Kanye West.
Oh, of course it is. What album was that?
That was
that on Jesus is King?
That was Jesus is King,
Okay.
yeah.
And I was wrong. Jive and Sister Fanny's not from Exile on Main Street and not my favorite song. Let It Loose is my favorite song from Exile. Jive and Sister Fanny, what album was
Jesus
it from?
is Lord is on Jesus is King.
Go figures.
yeah, nice. Mine, I really hate this because it just came out, but Jimmy Cooks by Drake on his new album.
It's a good song.
Yeah.
Colin got his tunes?
Colin, you got one?
Oh, Colin.
Colin's
he's
not
being
ready.
bashful.
Colin.
Bashful, Colin. Come on.
One for Jay?
Don't be bashful.
What is it?
Let's hear it. What is it?
Jukebox Joints by A$AP
Oh,
Rocky.
that's a great song.
Very good.
Shout out A$AP Rocky.
Come on, Colin. Way to go.
A$AP Rocky, I think, just had his kid with Rihanna.
I
have no details.
I don't know if has it
I'm staying
been
out
born
on that.
yet?
What, you don't know? What do you mean?
I just don't think it's
Yeah, I don't think it's been born yet. I think we're close. I don't
She
know
was
if
very
she's-
pregnant, like pretty recently.
Let's see if she's had the baby.
I'm not positive. Like, I don't know, but I'm just assuming. And you know what they say about assuming, though, right?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I know.
Pretty well documented what they say about assuming.
Pretty well.
Oh, gosh. We need this answer. Need the answer. Let's hear it, Brian.
I think she has had her baby.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
I was going to say.
I didn't get a gift. I'm sorry.
You know that they eventually they come out eventually.
Well, yeah, but I didn't know she was that close. I thought she was close. I didn't know.
They can't stay in there
I didn't know
forever.
that close.
Yeah. They have to come out at some point. All right, now that'll do it for hour number 2. We're gonna have a half hour number 3 because we do have to get out early for Ole Miss pregame versus Arkansas. That'll be an interesting game. 5:30 will be pregame. 6 o'clock will be first pitch. But coming up next, we're gonna have to get to our last segment of the day. We're gonna start with Derek Murray from Basketball News on some NBA draft. We'll talk about the Grizzlies and the rumors that are coming out about them, and then we will get to Taco Bell Crunch Time.
Hi, folks. Bob Burkheimer for Sunrise Buick GMC Truck. It's our 34th anniversary of Sunrise, and we're celebrating with a sale and savings that are bigger than ever. Over 600 new and used cars and trucks to choose from with huge Sunrise savings. See the entire inventory at sunrisememphis.com. Hundreds of pre-owned vehicles with a lot specializing in cars and trucks under $10,000. Credit not so hot? It's okay. At Sunrise, we specialize in secondary credit and have financing for everyone. New cars and trucks aren't free, but at least they're affordable at the 34th anniversary sale going on now at all Sunrise locations. Covington, Pike, Wolf Chase, and Collierville.
I'm with the expert. Yeah, that's right, expert. Kyle Storms here with Big Green Egg. Kyle, what can you cook on a Big Green Egg?
Almost anything. You can smoke, bake, roast, sear, and grill. Some of the best barbecue, desserts, and pizzas I've ever eaten have been cooked on a Big Green Egg.
I have to be honest. The last grill I had fell apart on me. I had to throw it away. What kind of warranty comes with a Big Green Egg?
This will truly be the last grill you have to buy. Big Green Egg has had a lifetime warranty on all ceramic parts of the egg since 1995. I talk to customers all the time that have had their eggs for 10, 20, 30 plus years. You can't say that about most grills.
How long has the Big Green Egg been around?
Big Green Egg was founded in 1974 by naval engineer Ed Fisher and has never changed ownership. Ed found out that no matter what you throw on an egg, it just comes out better. And now more and more people find out every year.
So you need to sell your house? I have the solution. Call 901-406-1101. That's 901-406-1101. Call my buddy Bill at I Buy Houses. Any house, any area, as is. It's literally as simple as that. Just pick up your phone. Call 901-406-1101. That's 901-406-1101. Call my buddy Bill at I Buy Houses. Guaranteed to close in 5 days. If you need to sell your house fast, call Bill at 901-406-1101. That's Bill at I Buy Houses.
The Take It On sales event is still going strong at Gossett Mitsubishi on the Pike. Go the extra mile with 41 MPG Highway in your 2022 Mitsubishi Mirage G4. $259 a month or buy for $17,885. Get ready for your summer road trip with 2022 Mitsubishi Outlander Sport. $359 a month or buy for $25,285. Plus 2022 Outlander. Vacation ready with 7 seats. We Gossett at $369 a month or $29,005. And you'll always get our stellar 10-year, 100,000-mile powertrain limited warranty. So get to Gossett Mitsubishi today, 1870 Covington Pike, or shop online at memphismitsubishi.com.
If you want it, we got it at Gossett Motor Cars.
All 72 months at 3.9. Outlander NZO 68336. MSRP 29505. Sport NU 009708. MSRP 26035. G4 NHF 05848. MSRP 18385. Includes all rebates and incentives. PF 695. Excludes tax title and license with approved credit. See dealer for complete details. Offer valid through end of the month. Dealer stock only.
In the alley since 1948, Mr. Charlie Virgo's world-famous Rendezvous. John, you and your family continue the great work at the Rendezvous. Next year will be the 75th birthday party. Let's start the party now.
Brett, there are so many visitors in town to watch the emerging Grizzlies and to see our great sights and sounds in Memphis. I see them all the time at the restaurant. I want them to know Memphis is a great foodie town. There are so many family-owned, locally owned great restaurants that have stood the test of time. I won't mention all because the list is too long and I don't want to leave anybody out, but I will mention Jim's Place Grill because my cousins own it. It's a great restaurant and they've stood the test of time, and they are this year celebrating their 100th anniversary. And of course, any visitor that comes to Memphis needs to eat barbecue. And I've said this before, there's great barbecue all over Memphis. I know because I eat it. But if you just have one night to eat barbecue in Memphis, it should be the Rendezvous. It's such a special place with a special staff. And by the way, next year we will be celebrating our 75th anniversary.
The world-famous Rendezvous, serving Memphis in the Mid-South and with the shipping serving the world.
We are Sports 56, WHBQ Memphis, and W253 DF Memphis. Flynn Broadcasting Stations.
Oh, yeah.
Now, back to Sports Time on Sports 56 and 98.5 FM. This hour is brought to you by DeSoto Auto Sales.
Let's talk some numbers here.
Here once again are Gabe Kuhn and Brett Norsworthy.
I used to feel so devastated. At times I thought we'd never make it.
Final half hour this day. We're out early. Remember, we have Ole Miss baseball with the pregame at 5:30, first pitch at 6 o'clock from Omaha. Elimination game for the Razorbacks. Ole Miss, if they win, they advance into the finals against Boomer Sooner. This hour of our show brought to you every day by DeSoto Auto Sales at 5704 Goodman Road, online at DeSotoAutoSales.com. Very proud to serve DeSoto County and surrounding area. 662-890-7184. All the cars thoroughly examined, checked out bumper to bumper, head to toe, unlimited inventory, every make, every model, and you'll be treated like family every time. At DeSoto Auto Sales, they care about your time, and they want you to have the ultimate car experience. Within 45 minutes, you find the car you want, test drive that car. Paperwork completed, you're out of there, because they know we live in a world today that time really matters, and that's why they have it so streamlined and so simplified for you. They don't rush you. They just want to do it very efficiently for you, and they do. At DeSoto Auto Sales, online at DeSotoAutoSales.com, 662-890-7184. Come on down to DeSoto County for that town and country experience at DeSoto Auto Sales.
Now, it looks like we are not going to be able to have Derek Murray
travel
for basketball
issues.
news. We have travel issues. He's in Manhattan right now trying to catch Ubers and deal with all of these issues. He had a flight delayed and the whole 9 yards. So we will get up with him at some point.
A lot of NBA news breaking.
Yeah, a lot at some point in the near future. Now, just breaking, it looks like Jeremy Grant is going to be on his way to Portland. And there's a lot of other deals that are associated with this. Denver, there's a lot of pick swaps, picks being moved around, but Jeremy Grant,
mid-level
the crux,
exception.
Yeah, all these, I can't keep
My favorite.
up. I really can't keep up with all of it. There are people, like we bring on Keith Smith for a reason, from Spot Track to be able to keep track of that. But looks like Jeremy Grant on his way to Portland to play with the Trailblazers. That should be an interesting addition. I mean, they, after last year, trading away Robert Covington, trading away C.J. McCollum, trading away Norman Powell. I mean, they got to reload somehow. Still have Dame. Still have a team that they. I mean, still have a team that I would imagine
moved
with Dame leading.
Terry Stotts a few years back.
But with Dame leading, I assume this is something that they expect that they can possibly get back into the Western Conference picture. I can't imagine they think they're a championship level team right now, though.
A lot of cars in front of them.
Yes, there is. A lot of people are showing back up now.
West is for keeps.
A lot of Wizards news, by the way, and I guess I'll start with a former Wizard in John Wall. Have you seen? And he exercised his $47.4 million option for next year with the Rockets, and obviously he got paid at 4 years, $171 million in 2019 is what the Wizards paid him, and he immediately got hurt. Have you seen how many games he's played versus how much money he's made? Have you seen this?
Is it disproportionate to Kyrie?
Generational moneymaker. It is, honestly.
Wow.
4 years, $171 million. He's going to get all of that. He's only played 40 games in the 3 years since he got that deal.
And NFL players are, come on.
Now, and to
I
be
got
fair,
an arm hanging by tendon.
but to be
and
fair,
can't get paid.
well, John Wall tore his Achilles.
He did.
And then he had like a terrible infection. And when he came back, it wasn't quite the same. Then he had a knee issue. So I get why he hasn't been able to play. It's not really a fault of his own.
I don't think he stiffed him.
No, but that is going to go down as one of the worst contracts in the history of history. 40 games is all you got out of him. And you thought, I mean, when it was John Wall, Brad Beal, and I think they signed Davis Bertans at that time, like you thought that team was going to be able to do something in the East. That just fell in on itself. And speaking of Bradley Beal, his decision on the future is made, but he won't tell anyone. Now, with this, every time we get into a contract here with Brad Beal,
Grizzlies,
rumor. Celtics is the one I've heard.
Grizz fam, they want him.
And, I love it, though, because, Celtics are the big one. Grizzlies, of course. I think that's sort of passed, though, right, with Desmond Bain coming along. I haven't seen a bunch of Bradley Beal to Memphis.
I saw a thread or two of it last night, and I got out of it.
A thread or two. Yeah. The likes and the retweets have gone down on those threads in recent years. But he said, I know what my decision will be based off of, and that's going to be where I feel like I can win. That's going to be my decision. If I feel like I can win in D.C., that's what I'm going to do. I want people to respect that. So he declined his player option. And here's what I'll say. Don't hold your breath on him going anywhere besides with Washington, because he makes $64 million more with an opt-out and a re-sign with the Wizards, and the Wizards will do everything they can to retain him. And here's the other thing. He said he's made his decision already. Players technically can't negotiate with other teams until free agency begins on June 30th. So stop holding your breath for anything else to happen. It sounds like he's staying in Washington. He's going to be put for $64 million more than he would have gotten if he would have opted back in.
Are you stuck if you make $64 million?
Stuck? What do you mean?
Is he stuck in Washington? Is it bad for him?
No, he's fine with it.
What would be the issue? They got the Treasury Department there.
Does the Celtics
They've got the U.S. Mint there. They make the money there.
What cracks me up is the Celtics thing has come up. Would that do anything for them? Would that do anything for the Celtics?
Have you ever been on the tour and watched the money made?
No.
Oh, it's great. One of the great tours.
I know a lot of bills have been printed this year.
Yeah,
that's all I know. But would Celtics with Bradley Beal added to that core make sense to you? Like, realistically?
How much does he help in the finals?
I mean, he would help. There's no crazy generational scorer.
Is it a difference maker into a parade? I don't think so.
I don't think so. And to think about what you'd have to give up, sign and trade, you'd have to come off of like Al Horford or Robert Williams, Grant Williams, Marcus Smart, or even the Wizards could ask for Jaylen Brown. But if you had Jaylen Brown, Jason Tatum, Brad Beal together, you still run into the same problems you ran into this year, and you don't have a main ball handler, a lead guard to be able to sort of assist and facilitate. That was the issue.
It's remarkable how the D.C. sports scene has changed from the old reliables, kind of from the 70s, 80s reliables. Well, then it was uniquely an Orioles town. There was no Nationals. Mm-hmm. It was an Orioles town. That franchise, the disrepair that the Angelos family has driven it into, the staple, Washington. I mean, with Joe Gibbs and running the game with those offenses, long since over. And the Wizards, then the Bullets changed to the Wizards. Now, kind of the newer ones, Caps finally get a Stanley Cup, and Nationals win it a few years ago. But the old reliables there, it's over.
You bringing up Joe Gibbs in the old days of the Red Sox.
I loved him.
It really is kind of I like just hearing you say that at this moment. I think my eyes just how far they've come in the worst possible direction.
Well, they had great ownership then with Jack Kent Cook. And
yeah,
they don't now.
Oh, they got the worst possible ownership you could.
They
imagine.
had a philosophy that I don't think you can win with now, with just loading up the diesel with John Riggins and running the ball like that. And Joe Gibbs, he old offensive line coach.
Your style of football.
The
Hogs.
And got that nickname came from his years of being an assistant coach at Arkansas.
Mm-hmm.
And he had an Arkansas offensive lineman, R.C. Tillman, was one of the famous Hogs in D.C.
But yeah, the Wizards, you thought, I don't know, about 3-4 years ago, you thought, okay, this could be a real player.
Kind of like I'm thinking about the Hornets now.
Yeah, it just shows injuries, and when you have that, and we've talked about it ad nauseum at this point, but that window closes quickly.
Never as open as you think it is.
One injury kills it. One injury ends the window. And John Wall for them, and not playing at that all-star level, killed it for the Wizards.
One injury kills it, and one discontented star can derail it.
True.
One can wreck it.
OKC. They split up. They didn't want to be in OKC anymore.
I know right now, Grizzlies fans, and I share this as well. It feels like the honeymoon happiness of all time. We will have one of the bigger stars become discontented someday.
We'll see how it plays out. You certainly don't hope for that, and
there
are situations. There are always
Shaq and Kobe blew up. Shaq and Penny blew up.
Well, yeah, Shaq and Kobe blew up, but not before they won championships.
That's true.
If you can win championships, then someone gets discontented. I think people will
the
take
Beatles
that.
blew up.
People will take that over discontented with no championships.
But Shaq and Penny didn't win one, and it came undone.
Yeah, but Penny also, the injuries and everything else, that killed Penny's career and the Magic. Now, we talked about Kyrie Irving earlier. This leverage he's using in negotiations with the Nets, with KD. Well, KD will want to trade if he leaves. This is the level. I like, if you were the Nets and you said this was going to happen 2 years later.
They signed up for it.
I know they signed up for it.
Let them wallow in it.
I don't know if they signed up for this. They signed
Steve
up
Nash
for.
did.
They signed up for Kyrie Irving, the player. I don't know if they fully signed. I don't know if they fully thought out Kyrie Irving off the court. That's the thing that
How'd you not know?
You knew, but you didn't know that the circumstances that were going to be raised in these 2 years were going to be what they were. COVID and all of the strife overseas and in our country. Like, you didn't see that coming. So this has been a disaster.
But you knew you had a volatile figure.
It has been a disaster. And, like, I don't know how you make a move now. If Kyrie decides to go somewhere, I don't really know where he can, like, Lakers would be cool. Lakers would be cool to see him there with LeBron, but, like, how are the Lakers going to make that happen?
Pardon the pun. What about somewhere off Broadway? What about somewhere like Dallas?
Yeah, that wouldn't work, I don't think. Luka and him together? Would that work? Kyrie would be the off-ball guy. I mean, I when I say wouldn't work, I mean that a little bit. I'm probably over-exaggerating because they're two fantastic players. But Kyrie's got to decide what he wants to do.
So where?
I don't know. Lakers is the one that makes sense. But the Lakers don't have the cap situation figured out right this second. And for KD, where would KD demand a trade to? Where would he want to go if this all falls through?
What about him to Dallas? And you know
Dallas.
You know what will come up with him. Washington could, because that's home, and the Knicks will.
I don't know what to think about this situation. Do you know what to think about the Charles Barkley KD feud?
I didn't know about it.
You didn't know about this? Charles Barkley went on ESPN and said that until Durant is the guy on a championship team, we're not going to ever give him the respect that he probably deserves.
I don't know if that's fair.
Well, he was the guy on a. Where was Charles in 2016, 2017?
He was a big part of Golden State.
He was. I mean, he was the part though. He was above step.
What was he doing on ESPN?
This was like this past weekend. This was this past weekend.
Just a special ESPN appearance?
Yeah.
Or at the finals?
It was on Get Up.
Really?
Yeah. This was last week.
I'm shocked his TNT. I'm shocked his contract would let him float around like that.
From what I hear about TNT, they're not very. I don't think they're very
exclusive.
Yeah, they don't try to hold you down, and they don't make those guys work all that much. To be honest,
I don't know why you would. I think you would want your people fanning out. Now, all right, ESPN, you don't want to look up and see Kirk Herbstreit on Fox.
Right.
But you wouldn't mind. Would you mind? Would it bother you that badly if you saw him step in and say hi to the guys at the Notre Dame game?
I
on
would.
NBC?
No, but if he's doing like a segment, exclusively to talk his sport with somebody, I'd want it to be on my network, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. But with Charles, like
I don't own you, but I'm paying you very well.
But Charles doesn't have anything he can really do on TNT at this moment. So it's like,
He's not
going
to do baseball.
Yeah, like what do they want him to do? So I could see why they'd let him go for that. But to say that Durant not being the guy,
the question's always been around: why wouldn't ESPN, especially here, as it feels like it's approaching, and I think they would, why wouldn't they allow Dick Vitale to do a semifinal game on CBS TNT for the Final Four?
I don't know. It's a good question. Because they got him under contract. They want exclusivity.
And he instrumental in making them.
Why are people so dense about the Kevin Durant situation and what he did and leaving?
Easy target
for the Warriors.
Easy target. And
can it be both? Here's where
he's very sullen about it.
Well, yes, and he talks a lot, and he always
he's
backs
too
himself
defensive
up.
about it.
Yes,
it's not sullen,
which usually tells the story in itself.
Yeah,
but like two things can be true at the same time, in my opinion. What Kevin Durant did was
he didn't do anything
the
wrong.
narrative was weak. Like, it's weak. It looks weak to leave a team that you had a chance to beat the Warriors with and join the Warriors. Like, if you can't beat them, join them. That's always going to look weak. But at the same time, I think we can all admit, through the arc of Kevin Durant's career, getting the titles and getting the Finals MVPs, that was also simultaneously a good move for his accolades and for the legacy that he wants to build. I think both things can be true.
Now, wait a second. Charles Barkley bounced around chasing rings.
And never got one. So I just get confused by why we're so dense about Kevin Durant and this legacy that we want him to fulfill.
If we could go back in sports, would it bother you that much if, and I know this is heresy, but if Ted Williams left the Red Sox to get a ring, if Ernie Banks left the Cubs to get a ring?
I don't mind it because we hold those things against people.
And then we talk,
if they don't have them, at the end of the day, we always hold it against them.
But we got this as well.
Especially in the NBA,
You didn't see Walter Payton chasing one. He delivered for the Bears, finally at the end of his career.
Situation. That's all I can say about, like, people that get dropped into the Kobe with the Lakers. And Michael Jordan, I think, struggled at first with the Bulls, but eventually got to the point where he had Phil Jackson and had Scottie Pippen. Never won one without Scottie Pippen. So every single great that has won multiple championships had to be positively affected by the situations he was posed coming into the league.
It's moving goalposts on that ring chasing or ring winning.
I still, with Kevin Durant, I need people to be a little bit less dense about the move he made to the Warriors, because it was simultaneous. It was a ugly looking move, but it was a good move for him, in my opinion. I mean, he didn't have to take a pay cut, got 2 championships, got 2 Finals MVPs. So
I'm trying to think who else would be the most villainous in doing that in sport after Kevin.
LeBron's up there. People do that to LeBron every once in a while. Like, there's no question about it. But villainous, like, if you can't beat him, join him. I don't know if we've really seen that, right? Like, Kevin Durant is in rarefied
baseball at every trade deadline. They have something like that.
Well, but it's trades.
Mm-hmm.
To actively go seek and sign with a team that just beat you in the Western Conference Finals, that's different. We're going to have to think on that. But in the meantime, let's get to Taco Bell Crunch Time.
Go crazy, folks! Go crazy!
This is for all the biggest crunch time.
You are looking live. In your life have you seen anything like that? Goodbye! Hello, Haskins.
It's obviously crunch time.
Hammer, nail, coffin. This baby is over.
The double steak grilled cheese burrito, so good. Double the steak with nacho cheese sauce, seasoned rice, red strips, sour cream,
and the 3-cheese blend wrapped inside a warm flour tortilla, with even more 3-cheese blend grilled on the top. The double steak grilled cheese burrito, it hits the spot now at Taco Bell. And at Taco Bell, when they say they are feeding people's lives with unexpected good, they mean it. Bowl food you can't get anywhere else.
Again, was it me today or was the bell particularly loud? Am I getting old and sensitive to noise?
I might have had it a little louder today.
We need to turn down his
I mean, next thing you know, we'll be barking at people for making noise in the hallway.
Get off my lawn.
What I learned today is last night was a great night to watch Major League Baseball. Nolan Gorman. Oh, my gosh. 4 for 4, 2 home runs at the age of 22. He becomes the youngest Cardinal to have 2 home runs in a game since Albert Pujols in 2001, his teammate. He's the first rookie and the youngest player in Cardinals history with 4 hits and 2 home runs in a single game. Now, Jack Flaherty, I mean, he's had his struggles in coming back. And
it was easier in Memphis than those
but also,
so far
Shohei Ohtani. Did you see what he did last night?
Ribby.
And he made some history. It's the first player born in Japan to have 8 RBIs in a game
baseball last night
in MLB history. 3 for 4, 2 home runs, 8 RBIs. But the Angels lose to the dang Royals 12-11 in extras. The Angels struggle so bad.
Bobby Witt's fun to watch every night.
Yeah, he is.
Well, Shohei has to be pitching and hitting for them to win a ball game, it feels like. The Angels. I don't know what has happened to them.
Once again, and now the Madden out, kind of the reboot. What I learned, Rocco, of Jell-O shot fame, now contributing to student food pantries at both Ole Miss and Arkansas. What a great American. I hope to get to Rocco someday on a slow day when it's not the World Series in town. 17,000 Jell-O shots between Rebs and Razorback fans. And Texas, they check in with 238.
238.
Poor Texas.
Well, Stanford was the lowest, right?
Yeah.
They were drinking the hazy IPAs.
Double digits.
We talked about the double IPAs
we
they were drinking.
Anything at Stanford. Come on, Texas.
They were drinking sour beers. They're like, what do you have on the local selection? Do you have any private selection?
Texas telling everybody how great their fight song is.
It's not bad.
It's not bad. It's great.
What I could have done without, outside of the Commander's House Oversight Committee hearing and all that, there's another thing in the NFL that happened. NFL filed to move Brian Flores' class action suit to arbitration. The NFL wants to settle this outside of the public eye. They want it to be out of the public's face, and they want to settle this behind closed doors. And in my opinion, I think this is the worst thing that could happen with this class action suit is to settle in arbitration. This is something that should happen in front of the public eye.
Should shine through.
It's got to be in front of us so we can actually pay attention to what's happening with the hiring practices in the NFL. This isn't how any of us should want this to be handled.
Brian Flores gets a head coaching job next year at Carousel Time, doesn't he?
I hope so. Because I thought he should have got one this year.
Yeah, I didn't think he should be fired. I could have done without the whole Dan Snyder league-wide embarrassment in Washington. He won't testify in front of Congress, and he won't sell. The league wants him out. They can't get him out. Along with the Angelos family in Baltimore, D.C., the two pillars of D.C. sports from 40 years ago, a long time ago, now shell of themselves.
Mm-hmm. You know what else I could have done without? This was a couple of days ago. Did you hear what Manny Ramirez said about Derek Jeter on the NESN broadcast?
I didn't.
He said, you got to understand this. If you played in Boston or New York, you're not in the big leagues. If you put Derek Jeter in Kansas City in those years, he was just a regular player. Manny Ramirez talking about Derek Jeter.
Do you buy that?
I love it. Let's keep the rivalry brewing.
I dig it
I like
from a
it.
rivalry standpoint, but I think he's fully wrong.
Yeah, he's pretty.
Although
pretty
I
off.
still will say,
I think
people,
Derek Jeter's been
you know what?
great in Seattle.
People can say what they want to say. All right? Derek Jeter's a little bit overrated. People went crazy about him not getting every single first ballot vote.
That's what Colin just said.
There was one vote that he didn't get, getting in first ballot. I thought he should have been a first ballot guy.
Rivera's the only one to get in with 100% though ever.
But they said Derek Jeter should have been 100%. There were people raising absolute nonsense about that entire day.
This amazes
Let
me.
it be.
You told me there are people that crack on Jerry Rice. Now you think Derek Jeter is fair game on getting cracked on?
Sure, yeah.
Jack,
although you know what?
Nicklaus
You know what?
gets ripped
What saves it for Derek?
What do they say about us?
What saves it for Derek Jeter is that starting 9 he has as far as his girlfriends back in the day. That's impressive. His lineup, my gosh.
It was very
unbeaten. What I'm looking forward to tonight, Avalanche versus the Lightning in Tampa Bay. Lightning can even
at the
up
good
the
arena
series
in Tampa that they can get to. They don't have to cross that
very
bridge.
True. But the Lightning
got to
can tie
cross
it
the
up.
bridge to go to Yankees-Rays, and there will be more Yankees fans there than Rays fans.
Lightning can tie it up tonight after what it looked. I mean, after Game 2, I thought the Avs were going to take full control.
Once more for Rebels and Razorbacks. It's not round 2. It's round 502. It's been my entire life. It never ends, and I don't want it to end. Ole Miss can move into the finals, and Arkansas can make it till tomorrow night and try to keep hope alive. Adam Wainwright on the mound for the Cardinals against the Brew Crew and Giants and Braves at Truist.
What I'm not looking forward to tonight, I hope that chest hair bikini guy was not an Arkansas fan, so I don't have to see that again. That's what I'm not looking for.
I'm scared of the visual of what else could happen.
We don't need it.
No,
we
we
don't
don't.
need it.
Omaha got weird. And they talk about that bridge a lot, don't they? That pedestrian bridge.
Well, you expect it to get weird, right?
Yeah.
All those Jell-O shots in the air.
Well, that leads to it, doesn't it?
That's all we have for today. Thanks for joining us. Thanks to Alex Kuhn, John Goen, Jake Thompson, and, well, we didn't have Derek Murray, but thanks to those guys for their contributions to the show. For Brett, for Bryant, for Colin, I'm Gabe. Enjoy your night and be safe. We'll holler at you tomorrow.